Hines. Hines has been the giant killer this year in that league over there. They knocked off East Mississippi right at the beginning of the season. So I was thinking, okay, that could happen. And I was looking at Lackawanna's. Their last game of their regular season was against Georgia Military. And I'm going, okay, that could be one, but this kind of took care of that. But at the same time, you need to remember Hutchinson playing Resolution Prep. They need to take care of business here, take care of business all the way out. And I think the two wins, the one over Dodge City this weekend, 85-3, was a huge one. I think also the win over Coffeyville, which has a blue blood such of history, also is big, where Hutchinson won in a big way and put 49 on the Red Ravens.
Well, we spoke a couple of weeks ago on Countdown before the Coffeyville game that these next 3 games, all home games, Hutchinson would have to take care of business and do so in a decisive fashion. Games 1 and 2 in this 3-game series, they've done so. A very dominant performance over Coffeyville, and then just all over Dodge City. I still don't remember when you go 3 touches, 3 touchdowns like the Blue Dragons did to start the second half. It was a pretty amazing performance. A school record 301 return yards, both combined punt return and kickoff returns. A very, very staunch defensive effort. Dodge City had a little bit of offensive momentum going, but the Dragons normally shut them down. They got the one field goal. But to go back to your original question, Clint, the Dragons did take care of their business decisively. They need to do it again tonight, and then it all points to that next big showdown, November 2nd at Garden City.
It was close for a little bit. You mentioned that field goal that they get was 7:01 left in the first quarter, so it was 7-3. And really, at that time, the Conquistadors were knocking on the door to tie the game up at 7-7. The defense locks it down, and then from there, it's just all Hutchinson Community College. Dodge City ends up with only 118 total yards that game, 67 rushing. So that's 4 games now that Hutchinson has held teams below 81 yards rushing a game. And get ready for an RPA team that really hasn't run the ball well against the Blue Dragons, 1, but 2, hasn't run the ball well in matchups that this team has had so far this year. In that Dodge City game, though, which kind of turned out to be like an RPA game that we've seen in the past, right? When you had a couple years ago, it was 91-0 and then 82-0 last year. That 85-3 score kind of reminds you of that. 3 scores in a row came from the defense and special teams. It started at the end of the second quarter, moved over into the third quarter. You get Gardner's fumble recovery for a touchdown. Then Tyon Evans opens up the third quarter with that 95-yard kickoff return. Then Mitchell Tinsley gets a 76-yard punt return after that. A team safety later then in the fourth. The Blue Dragons got 23 points last Saturday from defense and special teams.
Well, and you also look at Evans. Now, a lot of kids return kickoff returns for touchdowns, but how many do it at the start of the third period in the same season? That's kind of a little rarity there. Plus, they put a little added touch on it to reach out, break the plane of the goal line, fumbles the football away. If he's shorter on that, that's a fumble. It's not a touchdown, but that made it quite interesting on the start of the third period.
Second time this year that Tyon Evans has taken the second half opening kickoff back exactly 95 yards for a touchdown. The only thing missing was the pirouette, which he later added in a run for a long touchdown, or maybe it was before in the 42-yarder. But yeah,
so many you get mixed up.
Yeah, no kidding. My stats computer was smoking at halftime, and then it really got wild in the third quarter. But yeah, the Blue Dragons fired on all cylinders last Saturday. And I think Ryan Rhodes was very, very pleased with that fact. It wasn't so much that they were playing a bad opponent, is that their level of play was at a high level, and that's what it's going to have to be again tonight. Play at a high level. Don't make anything into who you're playing. Play at a high level. Do your thing, and good things will happen.
Yeah, with each score, you just saw Dodge City start to quit more and more. Every time the Blue Dragons crossed that goal line, Tyon Evans, by the way, leading rusher on just 3 touches. 3 attempts for 67 yards. 2 of those 3 were for touchdowns.
Yeah, he's a talent. And also, what we have, one snap in the third quarter, 3 touchdowns or something like 3 scores?
Yeah, 3 touches of the football. Hutchinson opened the second half, receiving the ball. One snap. So, like Darren said, it was Evans is 95 yards. Dodge City goes 3 and out. Tinsley returns the punt for a touchdown. Another punt. Tyon Evans goes 42 yards for the third touchdown. 3 touches, 3 touchdowns to start the third
Here's
quarter.
what Coach Ryan Rose had to say about the big win over Dodge City on the Dragon Talk this last Monday.
I think our guys just overwhelmed them with playing fast and physical. And, you know, when we went back and watched the video, I mean, you just see guys in the kicking game just playing at max effort. You see guys on offense and defense really straining to finish plays, and it was really, really good. I'm so proud of our guys, not because of the score, but really just because of how they played. Just challenge the guys to practice and play championship caliber football and not worry about the scoreboard, not worry about what the other team was doing, but just control how we play, and I feel like they did a great job of that.
To say he was pleased would be an understatement. I teased him a little bit and told him on my spot charts, I don't go 4 deep with quarterbacks on the spot chart anywhere. I don't go 6 deep with running backs, and that's what we had to do, and they produced.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody who got in played at a high level. Ray Samuels hadn't had a touch all year, and he has a very fine ball game. Just a lot of people just went out and did their job. It was very, very refreshing because at some point, you're up 62-3. I think the human nature is to let down. The Blue Dragons didn't. They just kept going, and it's not to say that they were running up the score. They just maintained their intensity at a high level for 60 minutes, and that's what Ryan Rose was pleased about.
You can't tell a kid coming back and returning a punt not to score. You know what I'm talking about?
Well,
I guess you can't say run out of bounds, but it's human nature. Those kids want to show what they can do.
Well, Steve and I were talking about this earlier. You're running a lot of those plays just right up the middle, right in between the tackles. And if you're not going to be tackled in the middle of the field, how is that running up the score? It's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But on Saturday, it was more like 42 yards and 87 yards and no clouds of dust because the Blue Dragons were just running by the competition. I think you got to see a little bit of that depth chart, as you mentioned, that you're going to see against RPA. So you saw more of Jonathan White. He gets a touchdown, averages 9.5 yards per carry. You saw Ray Samuel, 6.6 yards per carry. I'd imagine we'll see those two guys a little bit more tonight. And then Kahari Lane just threw that one pass, but it was for a 39-yard touchdown to Trey Petway. So look to see those guys some more. By the way, I feel like Trey Petway, I know he didn't, but it's almost like he heard us talking about, okay, this is the number 1 receiver. You've got Tinsley and you've got Brown coming back, and he's second.
What about
Nowhere did we mention Trey Petway, and all he does is come in and snag a couple of touchdowns, 2 grabs for 126 yards.
Yeah, Coach talked about the fact that he really had been a little banged up. Has had to do a lot with it, but he caught that one. And, boy, was Mark Art right? And I asked Coach this, accurate. My goodness, the kid's accurate. So I hope it keeps on going. We hope it will as well, and I know you folks will as well. Papa John's Pizza sponsors, again, our show each and every week. Papa John's Pizza, 501 East 17th. Give them a call, 665-7272. We'll be back with more on Countdown to Kickoff for this Thursday night right after this.
At Papa John's, we like to say, better sausage, better beef, better bacon, better julienne-cut Canadian bacon, better pepperoni. Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium meats pizza made with 5 premium meats free of artificial flavors or fillers. Or our new barbecue meats pizza made with smoky Southern-style barbecue sauce for only $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tip, and delivery fee extra.
Welcome back to Papa John's Countdown to Kickoff on this Thursday night. Hard to get used to saying that, but we're just minutes away from kickoff. From RPA, or Resolution Prep, the Wildcats out of Arlington, Texas. What do we know about the Wildcats, Steve?
They're a third-year program. They're a prep school out of Arlington, and it's a football version of Sunrise Prep, just not with nearly as much success. 0-7 this year, from what I've been able to ascertain. They played a couple of junior colleges in Trinity Valley and Blinn and have given up better than 70 points. A little known fact about RPA and their history against the NJCAA programs, there are 4 games where teams have scored 90 or more points against them, and it happens to be the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 all-time highest scoring games in NJCAA history, and the Blue Dragons are sitting number 4 at 91 points, which was done 2 years ago.
RPA, yeah, a few years ago, you go back and look, and this team was kind of just starting out trying to find teams to play and really had just a few games on the schedule. I was really impressed to see pretty much a full schedule this year and playing some quality opponents. Steve mentioned Blinn College. They lose that one 72-7 against Trinity Valley, lose that one 70-7, and coming up against Snow College here later in November. They even played Arkansas Baptist, which was the team you might remember Coffeyville beat 55-24. RPA lost that game 56-18. So the thing that you see is this team is still really struggling to run the ball. Passing, they've done a little bit better against Trinity Valley, went 6 for 25, which I know, okay, sounds bad, but got 49 yards that day through the air and needed them because that team had -5 rushing on the ground that day. Then goes up against Blinn College, had a much better day against Blinn. Actually had 234 yards of offense, so don't completely sleep on RPA. They have some weapons. 216 of those came through the air. Average just 0.7, not 7, 0.7 yards per rush. So again, the running game not that great, but threw 4 interceptions to 1 touchdown. So this team can throw the ball, not necessarily great at throwing the ball, and still in that running game, they find it really tough to find yards on the ground. Last year, RPA came in, got -38 yards of offense, mainly because they had -58 yards rushing that the Blue Dragons held them to.
You know, it's a situation, though, with the Blue Dragons will have that number 3 on their back, so they're going to be coming up with saying, hey, we can really do something here, so we'll see what happens. Resolution Prep Academy, spelled with a Z, and it is primarily a independently owned private, for-profit, privately owned post-secondary institution. That's the best way to describe it, kind of like you compared it to Sunrise Academy, very similar, but this, of course, being very much post-secondary. I don't think they have a B team that I know of or anything like that, so it makes it interesting.
They seem to be finding a groove with that Southwest Junior College Football Conference. They play a few teams from there. Cisco is included in that list with Blinn College and Trinity Valley. Last year, RPA was 0 for 7 on 4th down. Remember, went for some 4th downs on the Wildcats did on their own side of the field, which made a really short field for the Blue Dragons. Plus, it was so windy that day, it didn't go down into the books, but remember the -19-yard punt, which would have stood, but we had that inadvertent whistle, so they had to redo the thing. But a -19-yard punt, that comes back. So that led to a short field. The one thing the Blue Dragons didn't do well last year was when it came to penalties. There were 29 penalties in that game. RPA had 17 of them for 150. The Blue Dragons can't be happy about 12 penalties last year for 120 yards.
They also have a basketball team on their campus as well. And again, you already mentioned who they play, like the Ciscos and Blinn College. A competitive schedule that they put out there.
Their closest loss this year is 26-12 to the Louisiana College's JV program, and they have a roster that is much bigger than what we were accustomed to seeing. 2 years ago, they had all two-way players. It was like 30-some-odd players on the sideline. Their roster is closer to 70, 75 now. So I think they're to the point where now they've got players specifically for offense, specifically designated for defense. It's a prep program that's still up and running. Obviously, if you want to compare them to Sunrise Prep, the success not even close. But it's a program that's trying to do the right things. And again, Darren said they've upgraded their schedule immensely.
Yeah, depth definitely hurt them last year. Remember, had some injuries at quarterback. I think a starting wide receiver finally had to go over and just kind of run the Wildcat in the Wildcats offense.
Wildcats and the Wildcats. Thank you very much. They do have one player that's also the quarterback that is from Monroe, Louisiana, which our own Kendall Cross is from West Monroe, Louisiana. So there's some possibility of them knowing each other. Caleb Johnson is the quarterback. So they're from all over. A lot of Louisiana, a lot of Texas, a couple of Florida members of the team. So it's going to be interesting. It'll be happening just in a little bit. So looking forward to that. Let's get another break in. We'll come back and talk about more about this ball game and also the rankings that we talked about earlier on with Hutchinson moving up this last Monday into number 3 spot. That's good to see. And like Steve said, just take care of business, and we're in good shape. We'll be back with more on the Papa John's Countdown to Kickoff right after this.
At Papa John's, we like to say, better sausage, better beef, better bacon, better julienne cut Canadian bacon, better pepperoni. Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium meats pizza made with 5 premium meats free of artificial flavors or fillers. Or our new barbecue meats pizza made with smoky Southern-style barbecue sauce for only $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tip, and delivery fee extra.
Welcome back to Papa John's Countdown to Kickoff. Last home game, basically, of the year, potentially. Last home game here.
We hope so.
Yep, we sure do. Last home game here. Of course, the next home game would be, the neutral game would be the Salt City Bowl. And Hutchinson certainly hopes that we're not playing in the Salt City Bowl. We hope we have another Jayhawk team taking our place. There will be a Salt City Bowl, so don't think in that terms. And hopefully it's a good one. But we just hope we're not in it. So, and again, talk about the rankings. The good news that popped up is that we moved up by way of the computer, and it takes into consideration exactly what you were talking about earlier, the strength of schedule, and that's what you get.
Yeah, I would assume that's where the point differential was. The first place vote stayed the same. Mississippi Gulf Coast had 15, and Lackawanna still received the 1. But we've been kind of guessing that at some point this year, especially after the loss to Highland when we dropped to 4 and Lackawanna moved into 3, that the strength of schedule would eventually take over. And if you're a JAC conference team, you're going to have a strength of schedule that is far superior than most teams in the nation this year. Lackawanna College, they're still undefeated, but right now they could catch the Joe Paterno-itis. We have an undefeated team and not have a chance to play for a national championship. That happened 4 times in Joe Paterno's career.
Mm-hmm.
So the Dragons, again, need to be decisive and clean tonight. Don't give the voters any kind of chance to flip-flop them again. And again, there's a whole other facet to this that we talked about earlier. Let's say that the Mississippi teams knock each other off in the right order. Hutchinson stays clean, Lackawanna stays clean. You could potentially be talking about a Hutchinson-Lackawanna national championship game a few weeks in Pittsburgh. So there's still a lot of football to be played, but Hutchinson knows itself right now. If they take care of business, they will most likely be in Pittsburgh.
And there's a fine line then for Hutchinson tonight because you want to play your starters. You don't want to completely give them an extra week off. You want them to get some game.
Sure.
Don't expect to see them too much. And then you have to like the fact that you get a little bit of extra time since you have that Thursday game to get ready for Garden City, especially because Garden City went into Highland and won by 30.
Yeah, they're playing pretty good football right now. No doubt about that. I'm just looking at the asterisk with the 25% of the NJCAA football ranking is comprised of the NJCAA football computer rankings. The remaining 75% is derived from the individual votes conducted by the 16-member committee featuring the 7 members of the NJCAA football committee and 2 annual rotating at-large selections and a representative from each of the 6 NJCAA football conferences and a representing from the independent schools as well. So that's how they come up with this. I agree with you, Steve. That's what took place. So, hey, let's get it going. Kickoff just minutes away. I'll get a hold of Rob Dreher and get him off the pizza. He's in the gallery right there eating pizza right now. Get him out here and get set. And Darren will get set on the PA, and you'll get set on the computer. And we'll bring it all the action to everybody coming up in just a little bit. Special thanks to Papa John's Pizza. Papa John's Countdown to Kickoff brought to you by Papa John's. It's 501 East 17th. Large works or meats pizza for only $12. Add or customize however you wish. Again, Papa John's, 665-7272. So long, everybody. Join us again coming up a week from Saturday as we'll be a 1 o'clock kick out in Garden City. That'll be the next Papa John's Countdown to Kickoff. So long, everybody. Get set for the kickoff coming up right after this.
This has been the Papa John's Countdown to Kickoff with Glenn Grunwald, Darren Dunn, and Hutch CC Sports Information Director Steve Carpenter. Now we know what to expect during today's contest. The kickoff is just ahead. Enjoy today's Blue Dragon contest on Eagle Radio. It's time for the Hutch CC Blue Dragons on radio. The Blue Dragons on Eagle Radio are brought to you in part by First National Bank, Next Tech Wireless, H&R Block, The Medicine Shop, Pools Plus, Anchor In and Anchor Away, and these Sportscaster Club members, Lowen Corporation, Burning Chiropractic Center, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Green Vision Group, Barclay Plumbing, Mega Manufacturing. Sideline Reports brought to you by Papa John's. Now let's head to the broadcast booth for the Blue Dragons game. Here's the Eagle Sports crew with all the action of the game on the Hutch Community College Blue Dragons Sports Network.
Well, hi, good evening, everybody, and hope you're having a pleasant Thursday. I'm Glenn Grunwald, joined by Rob Dreher, and also by Randy McKay on the sidelines, and we're about set to get this game underway. Hutchinson Blue Dragons, number 3 in the nation, Rob. They take on a visiting non-conference game in Resolution Prep Academy out of Arlington, Texas. So here we go on a rare Thursday night.
Nice to have some evening football at Gowans Stadium, and, you know, I've heard people say, I'd like to have some evening games here in Hutchinson. Well, tonight's your night. Chance for you to come out and watch the Blue Dragons against an opponent that they expect to dominate. Hutchinson 2 years ago put 91 on Resolution Prep. They kept the score in the 80s last year, and this team this year I think is better than the teams we've had the last 2 years. So Hutchinson expects to put some points up on the board.
Yeah, Hutchinson put some points on the board last week, 85-3 over Coffeyville. Over Dodge City. Week before, they put them on Coffeyville as well. Hutchinson won that game 49-7. So Hutchinson's starting to shift it in the high gear, and we will find out next week as we travel a week from Saturday out to Garden City for the next really big game. But this one right now in front of them, they take every game seriously. And Hutchinson looking at RPA and say, hey, they might have a night. And the last time RPA played was 12 days ago. They lost to Trinity Valley 70-6. And their closest encounter this year has been with a Louisiana College Junior Varsity team, a 26-12 loss. So this team that's coming in from Arlington, not used to success at all, but Rob, they know that. They're coming here for a paycheck to help keep their program going, and this is only the third year.
And, this is a game where guys show up to practice every week. They've been practicing for months, and a lot of times they don't get on the field, or if they do, it's very limited. Guys that don't get maybe some opportunities in these other games are going to get to shine in this one, and that's what's fun. A lot of kids will play, and a lot of kids you're not familiar with are going to hear their name tonight on the radio.
Let's check in with Randy McKay, who's sponsored by Papa John's Pizza on the sidelines. Give Papa John's a call, 665-6262. 46 degrees game time. I look at that flag, Randy. It's kicking up a little bit, but not like it was. Last count I have was 10 miles per hour out of the north-northwest. So a lot more comfortable, but still cold down on the sidelines.
Well, it's not really that bad out here. And, of course, this is the kind of weather that when I was playing, we loved to play in, because when you play, you're going to sweat, and it just kind of makes things a little bit even out. It's not great for the kids on the sidelines or for the people in the stands, because it is a little bit cold. But the wind, it's kind of gusty tonight, and it's coming out of the north, so we'll just have to wait and see. I know during the warm-ups it did have a lot of an effect on both the punts and the kicks, so we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out during the game.
I'm looking at those flags on top of the goal post, and both are kind of fluttering around a little bit, and you can tell, even though we're not set down in a low field like some of these schools that we go to, it still can got to get a swirling effect when it comes around the big stands to the west here in Gowans Stadium.
Yeah, that's for sure. And, of course, you can tell even by the big flags on the flagpole that it seems to be swirling just a little bit, but not a whole lot. It may be coming out of the east a little more at times, but never completely swirling as such. So people, when you're going into the wind, going in north on this field, you're going to have a little bit of an effect on it.
All righty. Well, we're going to take a quick break, Rob, and come back and talk things over a little bit, see what's going on with see who might be starting, might not. They'll do the coin flip coming up in just a little bit, and we'll get set for football. So we're going to take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back with Gowans Stadium. It's football tonight. And again, the Blue Dragons getting set to take on the Wildcats out of RPA Prep Academy out of Arlington, Texas. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Network right after this.
We all like to save money when and where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more.
curbside service. And Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
In need of a business loan? With the First, you are promised personal service and commercial lending. Whether your business is just getting started or you're ready to expand, the First has solutions to help make your business successful. We're first for you. Find out how our loan experts can help. Visit fnbhutch.bank to get started, or stop into a location nearest you. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Gowans Stadium. We're about to have the coin flip, and Randy McKay will be going out with the referees in just a second. And both now they're lining up, and now here they go out there, and Randy will make the trip out there as well. And we'll see who's going to kick off and who's going to receive. So, like Randy said, a good night as a player to play in this type of weather. You kind of like it. You get all warmed up, and you know how that was back in your Hoiston days.
Oh, yeah.
What number were you back in Hoiston?
Glenn, that's been so long ago. Let's see, I was
80 something.
I was 29.
Were you really? Wow,
27.
Wow, that's pretty old to be a senior in high school.
That's right. Captains are 72, Stevie Young, 75, Jasden Turntime.
I've already done the coin toss. Hutch, you guys wanted elected to receive, you guys chose to kick from this end, but I'm going to do a mock toss right now, okay? And I bet they win again. Look, you guys won already, all right? You guys decided to receive, and you guys decided to defend this go, all right? So I'm going to step up just a little bit, and I'll give the announcement here.
All right. There you go. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate that. Nice touch.
Like it.
So they're lining that up, and Hutchinson will receive. RPA will kick off. So good situation. Go ahead. I interrupted you.
No worries. We were trying to get what Randy was saying. And Charles Johnson, DeMarcus Mills, the other two captains for Hutchinson. The big fella's coming off the field, and we're about ready to go.
Pretty used to getting going there. I'm going to see what other games are going on this evening. Now, there's a big one that we got our eye on in Mississippi as Hines hosts the #1 team in the nation, Mississippi Gulf Coast, and we'll see what's going to happen there.
Yeah, some Blue Dragon fans would pull for an upset in that one.
You betcha. Love to have an upset in that one. Hines has been crawling up in that poll week by week as they keep crawling up, so we'll see what is actually taking place there as well. So, again, a good night for football. A respectable crowd considering it's Thursday night and pretty cold. So
I'm
to fill the
impressed.
stands. They were concerned about that here, just due to the fact that if it wouldn't have been cold, I would have said shame on you for folks in here in Hutchinson, even though we know it's going to be a big, big romp over RPA.
Last night, it was absolutely gorgeous out. Of course, then the front came through overnight, and things were a little bit chillier, although this morning we had wind gusts around 35 miles per hour, and it isn't as windy tonight.
No. And I heard we don't want anything like California with the big fires that are going on out there. My, that is really some problems happening out there. So this right here, Resolution Prep will tow it up. Hutchinson playing very shallow back there right now for the Blue Dragons, and we'll be set to see how they kick.
Obviously, they've done their homework scouting, and Dragons typically would be about 12 to 15 yards deeper for a kick.
Looks like it's going to be Hector Burijas for the kicker is going to kick off.
Waiting for the clock to tick down to 0. We're at 4 seconds as we're just about ready to go here in this game from Gowans Stadium. The 7-1 Blue Dragons about to get a kickoff here, and hopefully they can do something with it.
Young man's out of Chiefland, Florida is where he's out of. Kicker and punter. Where's number 40 for Resolution Prep?
Still got people coming in. Good to see. Really short kick.
Very short, taken by one of the up backs, and tries to take it upfield, has some room, gets to the outside across the 50, down to about the 48-yard line on the return. And that was Colvin, that is one of the return men for the Blue Dragons to bring it up the field. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Hutch. We'll see who they send out at quarterback here.
Pretty sure it's going to be the backup, Sharif Brown, number 2 would be my guess.
And I think you're going to be pretty accurate with that. So Brown will be the quarterback.
And Aaron Collins is the running back, Glenn, so he'll get a start. Dragons will probably play some of their top guys here early, and that will be it.
Stonebridge, Georgia is the hometown for Sharif Brown. He'll throw it on the outside. Catch is incomplete as Brown looked like he was going to jump up in the air and tap it back to himself. It falls incomplete. So 2nd down and 10 now for Hutch.
Yeah, Brown that time had no chance to catch. A little surprise. Hutchinson coming out with a quick flare pass out there, and this time have a feeling the Dragons are going to run the ball.
They'll set up with a 2nd down and 10 now.
Resolution showing blitz.
Back to pass, Brown. In and out of Brown's hands, so Brown didn't connect on that far side either. Ends up being an incomplete pass.
And Brown talking to the receiver, Randy, saying, I don't know that was the right route.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one, but I know the first pass, it was just overthrown, and that one's just still off the mark with 3rd down and 10 now.
So Sharif Brown, the quarterback for Hutchinson, facing a 3rd down and 10 on Resolution Prep's 48-yard line. Back to pass is Brown. Steps up in the pocket, throws it on the outside, has a receiver out there. Catch is made, I believe. It will be made at the 11-yard line. Heck of a catch on that far side over there for Hutchinson. Yeah, Petway came up to catch. Petway had a touchdown the other day, the 4th longest in Blue Dragon history. And Petway made the catch over there in double coverage.
Yep, that is his 5th catch of the year. Couple of touchdowns, all coming in that last game. And that right there on 3rd down, a huge catch.
Big throw, by the way, by Sharif Brown. All right, there's a handoff. Coleman up the middle, into the end zone for the touchdown. Hutchinson from 13 yards out. Blue Dragons on the board already, 7-0, with 14:18 to go in this first quarter of play. So basically you have 2 plays that go nowhere. On the 3rd down and 10, you throw it all the way down to the 12-yard line, and then Sharif Brown gives it off to Coleman. He takes it in for 6.
Big fellas up front that time, making a nice hole on the right side. And the running back found it, hit it, and he was in the end zone. Wasn't touched until really he got to the goal line. So touchdown, Hutchinson, that easy.
Here comes the point after. It's up, and it is on its way, and it is no good. So missing from the extra point makes it 6-0. Hutchinson with the early lead. We're going to take a break with 14:18 to go in this first quarter of play. Hutchinson already on the board, leading it 6-0 over RPA Wildcats. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Network right after this.
HCC Sports on Radio is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Mega Manufacturing, Sporting Chiropractic Center, Papa John's Pizza, A&A Builders, Barclay Plumbing Company, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Lowen Corporation, Old Office Shares, Dr. Eric Severud with Alliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Todd and Cindy Miller of Homestead Senior Care, Man Wyatt and Rice Injury Lawyers, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, and the Green Vision Group of Hutchinson.
Well, Rob Dreher and Brandon McKay, just like that, 6-0. Quick hit by the Blue Dragons. Unfortunately, the missed extra point, but 6-0, quick lead.
You know, it's really good to see Brown look good on that pass and make a great throw to Petway Randy, and the offense looked good on that drive.
Yeah, 4 plays, 3 passes, 2 incomplete, and 1 long pass that got completed, and then 1 running play, and you're up 6-0.
Here's a little pooch kick. It's going to be taken by RPA, and they get some room around the outside at the 40, across midfield to the 50, and finally dropped out of bounds inside of the Blue Dragon territory by the Wildcats as they came up and got past that first line of defense. And it really was a touchdown saved right there as they knocked him out to 44.
Yeah, pretty sure that Ryan Rhodes and company are not going to be happy. The effort on that kickoff there is giving up a lot of yardage, was the Dragon kickoff unit.
All right, they'll set up in a shotgun formation. The turn and the give to the first man through, and nothing there. Hutchinson eats them up, a loss of 6 on the play. Hutchinson defensively just coming at him right there.
No chance. Penetration, and the running back got the ball, and as soon as he got the ball, there was a Dragon defender.
And that Dragon defender right there was Latrell Bankston, who's back. He was back last week, and so glad to be out there and playing, getting some more offers I've seen on Twitter. He's going to have a whole drawer full of letters, let me tell you that.
He can play anywhere he wants.
I think he can, too.
Big time.
All right, man in motion to go run it on the outside and get pinned back again. Loss of another 5 yards. And Hutchinson's defense just licking their chops.
Well, the kickoff coverage wasn't good, but the Dragon defense said that's okay because they've run 2 plays, and Randy It's now second or third and 20.
Yeah, and I think they're going to find out real quick, just like all the other teams in the Jayhawk Conference, you just don't run against Hutch.
That's what's going to be fun about Garden, because Ryan Rhodes told me that's what Garden does. That's their strength. Well, our strength is saying you're not going to run it on us. Look forward to that matchup coming up here in a little over a week.
Back to pass, stepping up and into the pocket. Down the field, catch is made and run out of bounds at about the 30-yard line for RPA. The catch over there made by Whitley.
Got a flag that was thrown by the linesman.
Yep, that is going to come back, I'm pretty sure.
We'll back it up and see what happens. That's Wakefield, Jason Wakefield, the quarterback for RPA. Let's see where they're going to mark this.
Offense number 74, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Thought they converted and had a big pass play. Now you're going to be looking at a third down and 30.
But here's something to worry about for the Blue Dragons. That guy was wide open.
I know. I totally agree. Kind of a breakdown in coverage there, and you know they're going to be talking about that.
Wakefield will be on the sideline getting instructions from his head coach. Now he'll come across and give it off to his teammates. Third down and 30.
The drive started with promise after a really good kick return by Resolution Prep, and it's gone backwards every play since.
Wakefield sets his backfield, set now. They got a man in the slot. Back to passes. Wakefield hands it off on the draw. Nothing there. Hutchinson just ate it up right there. Matthews in on the stop, and he's the one that got the big stop for the Blue Dragons.
You know, Matthews has really played well. Rodney Matthews, number 55, defensive lineman out of Tennessee, and he's got to play more because some of the big fellas up front missed a couple of games, but Matthews is a real-time player.
Fourth down punt situation for RPA for the Wildcats. Hutchinson sends a couple deep back at the 45. Colvin on the far side.
Bad snap, but they get it off.
And Roach is on our near side. He fair catches it and makes the catch. Fumbles the football. It's down for free grabs, and they'll throw it down to Beanie right at the 35-yard line.
Hutch got it back.
Yeah, Roach got on that football.
Well, Randy, we've been pretty good at fielding those punts cleanly this year. You haven't seen
Blue Dragon women's soccer team plays host to the Butler Grizzlies in the opening round of the Region 6 tournament. First touch is at 2 p.m. at the Salthawk Sports Complex. Admission is free. Get out and cheer on the hands.
Yeah, that's a little concern.
Give them credit. They've come out here and played hard.
All right, Hutchinson will split wideouts right and left. You have twins on both sides. And again, Sharif Brown, the cornerback. We'll see different quarterbacks tonight. We're watching them warming up. Lane had some opportunities to give it again to the first back through, and a ball skips loose, and RPA says they have it.
It's going to depend on whether the officials say the running back was down.
Yeah, I think they did say he was down.
Yeah, that was the official word I got from the officials there. The play was dead.
So second down and short.
Concerning, guys, that you saw the ball hit the ground on the punt return, and then on the run there, the ball popped out whether it was late or not.
Turn again, the fake to Collins going to be kept by Sharif Brown. He's across the 40, down to the 35, the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and finally dragged down at the 2-yard line. Sharif Brown on a keeper, and that was a quarterback option the whole way, and he takes it all the way down to the 2.
I tell you, Brown on his first drive made that really, really nice pass on third down. This time the option fake and running back or quarterback looking like a running back, a terrific run.
44 yards that is on the carry. This time give up the middle of Collins, and he's into the end zone for the TD. So touchdown, Blue Dragons, from 2 yards out on a first and goal situation with 10:52 to go in this first quarter of play. It has 12-0. Hutchinson with a quick lead.
Offensive line just dominating up front, and you would expect them to do that in this kind of game, but it's fun as a running back to run behind guys that are making holes like that.
All right, we'll get set for the point after. Late addition to the lineup coming in from the Blue Dragon bench, and now they'll get set.
Keep in mind the Dragons did miss.
This is Garcia on the extra point hole. Here's the hold, and the kick. It is up. It is on its way, and it is good. So your score? with 10:52 remaining to go in this first quarter play. Blue Dragons 13, RPA out of Arlington, Texas, nothing. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragons Sports Network right after this.
Hi, this is Rob, and I want to tell you about one of my favorite places in Kansas to get a melt-in-your-mouth cheeseburger. It's RV Drive-In, where they've been serving up fresh food, not fast food, since 1948. They're famous for their burgers, but you can also try their homemade pork tenderloin sandwich, patty melts, BLTs, and so much more. Tuesday, Thursday evenings, Friday, and Saturday, they make their homemade onion rings that are the best I've ever eaten. RV Drive-In, Kansas' oldest drive-in at 201 East Avenue A, and online at rvdrivein.com. Go Blue Dragons!
Hi, everybody, and welcome back again. Hutchinson on top with 10:52 to go in the first quarter play, 13-0. So good job on the drive right there by the Blue Dragons.
Doing what they should do, coming out here and, not doing anything fancy, just some power football there as the Dragons kick off, and this kickoff a little better than the last one.
It's going to be taken right at the 12-yard line and heads up the field. Now he turns around and is just dropped right in his tracks as White was down there quickly on defense along with a couple other ball players. Good job by the Blue Dragons getting down there. Let's go down sidelines for the Papa John's sideline report with Randy McKay. Good stop down there defensively by the special teams.
And they did get a little help from one of the RPA players who had fallen down and actually ended up tripping him as they went backwards. But, good coverage. Ball on the 20, 1st and 10.
Carlos Thomas, number 24, the returner.
So White made the stop. He's usually a running back for the Blue Dragons. Now they break huddle and get set to go. Again, Jason Wakefield, the quarterback, down in the center this time. The pitch on the outside. He tries to angle across to get some room, and back to the original line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10.
Just tough to run against that Dragon defense.
On that carry, Kirk Williams was out there in the block formation as well for RPA. RPA with white jerseys and pants with silver numbers and kind of a maroon helmet.
Really like those digital markers across the way. They light up for the down as well as the distance.
2nd down and 10. Back to pass Wakefield. Across and catch is made in stride all the way down to the 40. Still on his feet to the 50, down to the Hutchinson 40-yard line and slammed down. And then there was a loose football, but he's down by the count right there. The catch was made by Whitley.
Well, that's really the second breakdown we've seen in the Dragon secondary. That has to be a little bit concerning to Ryan Rhodes as I see him barking out at the players right now. And they're not going to run on this Dragon defense, but if they get enough time to throw it, the quarterback has shown that he is efficient enough to make some throws.
Yeah, it looked like a little slant pattern. The catch was made there, and then Whitley, with yards after the catch, very successful. Again, the give on the outside and carrying the ball was Kirk Williams, and he's again brought to a loss on the play. It dropped all the way back to about the 44-yard line.
No chance on that right side of the Dragon defense to get anything there. A loss. And
let's say 2nd down and 14 unofficially. Ball looks to be on about the 43-yard line of Hutchinson. But you're right, Rob, that slant pattern, the catch by Whitley, is something that's been working through for them on a couple catches. One didn't count because of the hold. Here the keeper by Wakefield. He slides to a stop at the 40, picked up some positive yards. Back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10 to call.
Smart to slide in there because one of the big guys was coming up and was ready to lower the boom. Quarterback being smart. Still a 3rd down and long here. And have a feeling Dragons are probably going to bring an extra guy.
So they'll get set to break huddle, and let's see if they do what Rob indicated. Rob Dreher, my color analysis all year long on the home games. They'll spread out wideouts to the right side and to the left, so see what kind of protection Wakefield has. Here comes Hutchinson on the blitz, or the ball thrown incomplete, right between two defenders. I said blitz, it was not a blitz. They pulled back another one. And Wakefield's incomplete pass, the intended receiver was Johnson.
Not sure they'll punt the ball here, we'll see, but good coverage there by Hutchinson, Randy, and doing what you need to do.
Yeah, that's been on the sidelines to Randy McKay.
That was a great pass. It was right on target, but Art Green just reached over and batted it away before it got to the receiver.
Yeah, it was on target, but they did have good coverage there. Now, it looks like to me they're going to try to punt the football on 4th down and a little over about 4th down and 11.
Yep, they are.
See if they try to pin Hutchinson back. Hutchinson will send a couple defenders back. Here comes the kick. Off to the right side. It's going to hit at the 6 and bounce through the end zone, so it'll be a touchback. So Hutch will have the football, 1st and 10 on the touchback.
But the Dragons have done what they needed to do offensively. Up to this point, they've had 2 possessions and 2 scores. Really, the only blemish is the missed extra point after the first score. It's 13-0, 8:17 to go here in the first quarter.
See how Hutchinson trouts out primarily at that running back slot. Looks like Cross is going to get his turn at the running back slot, so Brown will stay in there at quarterback, and Tim Cross will be the running back. So Hutchinson with a shotgun formation with Sharif Brown back there at quarterback. Sends a man in motion. Donaldson gets a flip to him. That'll be a pass. Now he's going to reverse and try to outrun the pursuers. Getting around the corner on the outside. He does get around the corner, stumbles to his feet all the way to the 30-yard line, close to the first down. He was dead in the water back there and reversed it and came back around.
Well, and one of the guys trying to make a tackle for resolution right in front of Randy McKay is down. Randy, that does not look good.
Yeah, it's Rodney Harris, and I think it's his arm or shoulder. Somewhere in that general
area.
They'll
come out
shoulder.
Tend to him. He's shaken up, and they'll get him to set up right a little bit. So a pretty good run right there. Will be 2nd down and 1, so it was not good enough for the first down, but a pretty good job by Hutchinson's Donaldson. That was actually will go down as a pass. It's just a little flip.
That's right.
It's a little forward pass.
Shuffle
flip.
pass.
And he brought it around the outside. He was going to his right, and he was shut off there and came back around while they attend to the player. He's going to have to be assisted also. Tell you what we're going to do. We'll get a quick timeout as we let him get off the field. 13-0, Hutch on top. 8:05 to go in his first quarter of play. Hutch's ball, 2nd down and 1 will return on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
The Hutch Medicine Shop and the Hutch Blue Dragons have a lot in common. In addition to our logos both being blue, all 3 pharmacists at the Medicine Shop graduated from HCC. Rick Stone in 1984, Brent Bellman in 2001, and Lacey Stone in 2007. In fact, the Medicine Shop has employed over a dozen HCC students over the past 15 years who are now Kansas pharmacists. The Medicine Shop and the Blue Dragons working together as one team.
Welcome back. They take the injured player off the field and gets a nice round of applause from the partisan fans that are over on the Hutchinson sidelines.
You know, the Dragons will suit up probably 90-plus for this game. Their opponent in this game here maybe around 45. They don't have a lot of depth, and to lose a guy like that right off the bat.
Traveling vans up here, boy, that would take you back to,
like your high school days?
Exactly. Or even the regular school bus. I think that would be worse. To give to Cross, turns to the right side, has the first down, but then met there right at the 32-yard line. They'll move the chains. 1st and 10 for Hutchinson from their own 32.
Dragons will take that. It's just enough to get the first down. 7:47 to go here in the first quarter. Hutch up 13-0. 2017, they scored 91 points on this resolution team. Last year, I think it was, 85?
82 to nothing was the score last year. So Brown, the quarterback, has trips, Twins on the left side, wants to throw the football back. The pass steps up, has some room. He's across the 30, and now he elects to keep it on the sideline and moves it up out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So a nice pickup by Brown. Thought about sliding, decided not to, and just stepped out of bounds.
And, you know, he had a lot of time to throw, but obviously if you're a quarterback and you're not comfortable forcing it, if nobody's open, tuck it, run, live for another down, and that's what he did. 2nd down and 4. You'll take 6 yards on first down every day of the week.
So 2nd down now for Hutchinson, 2nd down and 4. Here's Brown, gives it off. Quick running again, hard hitting by Cross, has the first down and more, all the way up to the 49-yard line. The running backs for Hutchinson, even though there's going to be several of them, they're going to be licking their chops, having a good chance to have a 50-plus day for each one of them possibly out there. And that was Kendall Cross ripping one off just short of the 50-yard line.
You know, when you talk Trey Coleman, Kendall Cross, Aaron Collins, Tyon Evans, Jonathan White, and even Ray Samuel, those guys can all get it done.
Samuel and Cleveland were two new names we started calling last week. Back to pass Brown. Steps up, dances with his feet. Ball is partially deflected, incomplete, falls aimlessly to the turf at about the 35-yard line, but it was touched momentarily. Nice job, and I thought maybe for a second that young man Carlos Thomas was going to get to it. Randy, did you see if some big lineman got up and got a hand on it or not?
Actually, they did not get a hand on it. They got a hand on Sharif as he was letting go of it.
On the arm, okay.
And he had time to throw. He holds the ball maybe a little bit longer for this Blue Dragon team than Mark Wright. And that time maybe held it just a little bit too long.
Back to pass, gives it up to Cross in the flat, across the 50, trying to get to the outside, and he does, all the way to the 45-yard line. And it picks up about 5 to 6 yards, so second down, and we'll say 4, a long 4.
That's a good job on first down.
Yard marker says 2nd and 5, so we'll go with that. 3rd and 5, we'll go with that. Yeah, that was one that's just a little flat on the outside. I like to see those passes. To me, they're pretty safe. And you can get some yardage out of them. Trips on the far side, on the upper side, by the right hash. The turn and give again to Cross, has some room, 50 yard, down to the 30. Cross and down to about the 27-yard line. That'll move the chains, 1st and 10. And Hutchinson is moving the football on the ground.
Yep, and that time Jaquan Robinson, 43, had a chance to make a tackle and stop it for really maybe a yard gain, and he whiffed on the tackle and then doing a good job of getting extra yardage, the Dragons, and they get a first down.
Hutchinson with trips to the right side again on the right side of the field. Again, the keep by Brown, straight up the middle, 25. Down to the 10, 5, touchdown Hutchinson! Sharif Brown from 28 yards out took it in for 6.
Quarterback option read, and that time the defense bites on the running back, and the quarterback goes untouched into the end zone. Well-designed play, Randy McKay, and Hutch purring on offense.
It was very well designed. Of course, the RPA, the run-pass option that almost every football team uses now,
yeah.
It's just something fantastic, and it worked right there.
Yeah, he gave the fake and then took it himself over that left side. Once he got into the secondary, he was off to the races and took it in for 28 yards out. Point after touchdown, kick is up and good. And already, with 5:51 to go in the first quarter of play, it's Hutchinson 20. The Wildcats of RPA, nothing. We'll be back for the Hutchinson kickoff right after you hear this on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Getting the most back from your tax return starts with getting the most expertise. H&R Block has more enrolled agents than any other tax preparation company, and we guarantee the accuracy of every return prepared by our tax professionals. We find every credit and deduction to lower your tax bill. Put our expertise to work on your return, and don't just get your taxes done, get your taxes won in Hutchinson, Lyons, and Ellsworth.
Welcome back. We'll wait the Hutchinson kickoff against Stuart Haddett, chief engineer tonight. Also Misty Korn helping as well. Back to BW as well as KHUT Studios. By the way, you're listening to Blue Dragon Football on KHUT Hutchinson as well as KWBW Hutchinson. So glad to have you along this evening. All right, now we'll get set for the kickoff and see if we get a squib kick as we have been getting as of late, or if they'll kick it away. They'll kick it away, and it's going to be a high end-over-end kick, taken at the 10-yard line, and moved to the left side on the carry around that edge. Nothing there as he's hog-tied and brought down right there. Trying to get untracked over that far side was the return man for RPA, and he just didn't get it going anywhere.
Jonathan White making a nice tackle for the Blue Dragons, and that is really good coverage.
Jerry Johnson on the carry around there, and he just started to turn that edge, and all of a sudden it was like, whoa, you're not going anywhere.
Speed to burn.
I said hog-tied one time in a high school game this year. I used the term slick as a greased pig, and Coach Knack got a kick out of that one. Don't think you heard that one, Rob. That's what we talked about from your neck of the woods.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Fumble on the play, picked up at the quarterback. Now he wants to throw it, and he will, all the way down, and has a receiver open, incomplete pass. Good coverage by the Blue Dragons, but again, somehow, some way, Wakefield got to the football, and let's go down the sidelines, talk to Randy McKay with the Papa John's sideline report. And Randy, some way he got rid of that football.
I think that guy's Harry Houdini, just because he was able to get out and get into a little bit of an opening and be able to throw that ball way downfield. It was a good pass, just a little bit overthrown.
I'm impressed with his arm. Good strength and throwing the football that time just a little bit too far. And a second down here, back to throw.
It's out of Louisiana, where the young man's from, and this time there's going to running play around on the left side. A little bit of a gain on the play of about 3 or 4 yards, brings up second down and 7. So stoppage made over on that far side.
Oliver McDowell, 27, made a nice tackle, linebacker from Illinois.
Jason Wakefield, 5'11", 181, out of Prairieville, Louisiana.
5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. As expected, it's been all Blue Dragons.
Glenn Grunwald along with Rob Dreher, and on the sidelines is Randy McKay, courtesy of Papa John's Pizza. Back to pass, Wayfield steps up, tries to tuck it away and run. He'll slide and right around the first down marker, very close. I think he's a half a yard short, though, from the spot on the play, and they'll mark it right at the 26. Down to Randy McKay. What do you think, Randy? Pretty close?
I don't know. They may be. Oh, no, they signaled first down. I knew it was going to be close. I thought maybe they'd measure, but the referee has signaled first down.
All right. Well, they haven't moved the chains as of yet, so we'll see. They're showing 4th down and 2 foot.
Well, the Blue Dragons don't think it's a first down, and the head official saying it's a first down, and
they marked it right at the 26. Now they moved the chains. You're correct, Randy. So that's what we're going to go with. So Wildcats moving it up for the first down, the first of the game. So
we're going to get a timeout.
They will take a timeout and chat about it, and we'll get a timeout as well. We'll take a break. 4:34 to go, quarter number 1. Hutchinson 20, RPA Wildcats nothing. Rob, Randy, and myself will be back after this on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
HCC Sports on Radio is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Mega Manufacturing, Sporting Chiropractic Center, Papa John's Pizza, A&A Builders, Barclay Plumbing Company, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Lowen Corporation, Old Office Shares, Dr. Eric Severud with Alliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Todd and Cindy Miller of Homestead Senior Care, Man Wyatt and Rice Injury Lawyers, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, and the Green Vision Group of Hutchinson.
Welcome back. 4:34 to go in his first quarter of play. 20-0. That's Blue Dragons leading it in the first down of the game for RPA Prep. Let's say our Resolution Prep Academy, RPA. They're a prep school out of Arlington, Texas.
0-7. Dragons 7-1. Control their destiny for the rest of the year. Could be playing for something special.
Back to pass. Wakefield steps up, throws the football. And it's going to be knocked away. I thought it was going to be picked by Art Green, but he knocked it away. Incomplete pass. Second down.
Yep, he was reading the quarterback, made a great jump on the ball, and Art will be the first to tell you that, I'd like another chance at that. Should have been picked off.
I actually thought he had it.
I did too.
But
and my dog was right on him, and it looked like it. That's why I said intercepted, because I thought he had it as well, but popped away. Got another quarterback warming up on the sidelines for Hutchinson. I think Lane's going to get his shot in a little bit in there as well. For the Blue Dragons, back to pass. Wakefield steps up. Across the middle. This one's picked off. It's going to be picked has crossed the 40 and goes back to the right side. Trying to go to the 10-5. Touchdown to Hutchinson. Ogbonna, CJ with the big interception.
Well, the quarterback that time telegraphed the throw, and Ogbonna made a beautiful move on the ball, and after he intercepted it, he was not touched.
I think he got it at about the 48. We'll see the official count when we get stats at the end of the quarter. Yeah, they're down right now, but we'll get them at the end of the quarter. 26-0. That one was pretty. Good job. Go ahead, Randy.
And actually, that was Katron Allen with the interception.
Oh, was Allen?
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. He is the defensive back. You're correct. That was Katron Allen. Kick is up, and it is good. And your score with 4:16 to go. in this first quarter of play. 27 for Blue Dragons. RPA with nothing. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Network right after this.
This is Carter Fowle, president of Hutchinson Community College. I invite you to join us this winter as the proud tradition of Blue Dragon men's and women's basketball continues at the historic Hutchinson Sports Arena. Both teams are favorites in the tough Jayhawk Conference, so you won't want to miss any of the action. Find the schedule at BlueDragonSports.com, like us on Facebook, and follow Blue Dragon Sports on Twitter. As always, go Blue Dragons.
Okay, Tron Allen taking it in from, I'm guessing, 50 yards, maybe a little bit more than that. We'll get the official markings. By the time I got it out of my mouth to say it was intercepted, he was already at the 40 and off to the races. So they have 2 sevens on the Hutchinson's team. That one was Allen with the interception with the pick. Special teams playing pretty good now.
Really have. Although that, of course, was a defensive play there.
Defensive play, but yeah, you're right. Ball taken at the 7 around that left side, taken by RPA, and little or nothing there. Maybe a pickup of up to about 6 yards on the return by RPA. And that was returned by Isaiah Graham out of Cedar Hill, Texas, one of the suburbs of Dallas. Actually, Cedar Hill between Fort Worth and Arlington or Dallas area.
So the Dragons get it done with their kickoff coverage, and they will force RPA to start at their 13-yard line. It's been tough sledding for them. Really, they've had no success whatsoever on the ground. They are negative yardage as far as the rush goes, but they have completed a couple of nice balls in this game. One of them came back via a penalty that was really a nice throw.
Get the man in time from the sidelines, and Wakefield wants to get the pitch on the outside. He will. And going to be gathered in for a loss on the play, as that was Hisafake takes it back to about the line of scrimmage. Got a little or no gain. Maybe it will give him a half a foot. So gain of 1. They'll say second down and 9.
That was actually a misread on the quarterback watching the defensive end, and he probably should have kept it.
Yeah, he should have kept it. That's what I was thinking when he pitched it, that he pitched it close proximity to the running back as well. And that'll end up in a fumble sometimes, so you got to take care of the football around that edge. Here down under center now is Wakefield. Gives to the fake, and he actually gives it up the middle. Ball carrier is going to be called Khalil China on the carry.
Yep, quick hitter to the fullback.
Killeen, Texas, his hometown, makes it a 3rd down and 4 situation.
Dragon linebacker making a tackle there, so 3rd down and manageable. 3.
Temperature on the field still 44 degrees. A little bit of a breeze out of the northeast now. It's kind of moving around. Let's split wideouts left and right. Go with a lone half back in the backfield. The Wakefield toss on the outside. Catch is made at the 20. Forward for maybe a couple yards.
I don't know if he got the first down or not,
either.
Randy.
It looks to me like it's a yard short, doesn't it, you, Randy?
Yeah, it's going to be just a little bit short, but it was a good effort to try and get it.
So this is a punting situation for sure for Resolution Prep. The normal situation they maybe would think about going for, but not with that Blue Dragon defense.
So a really good throw. Nice catch, but a good tackle by the Dragon defense to stop them a yard short of the first down, and the clock continues to tick. We still have about 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Already a 27-0 lead, and the Dragons are going to get the ball back.
Marquise Colvin on the far side, and Jalen Roche on the near side. He's out of Grayson, Georgia. Here's the punt. Going to drive Colvin back on his heels at the 30. Guy's going to set up and come upfield. Gets across the 40 to the 45 to the 50. Angles to the left side. Across the 40 deep into the RPA territory. Spin move at the 20. Still on his feet all the way down to the 14-yard line. Want to return all the way from the 30 to the 14 of the opposition. Great return by Collin.
And first thing I look for are there any flags on the field? None, Randy. That's about as pretty as you get.
But there probably should have been by Art Green. I think he blocked in the back.
Well, you look when he hit in the midfield, there was a lot of bodies in there. Colvin came to our direction, turned that corner, got it all the way down. They'll officially mark it at the 14. Great return.
Did see one right about the 45-yard line that I was waiting for him to throw the flag. Hey, we're thrilled. They didn't throw it.
51-yard return, Rob.
And the Dragons in business again at the 14.
So Marshall in motion to give off this time. It's Evans, the ball carrier, all the way down to the 6-yard line. Evans on his first carry.
Evans, 26 carries coming into this game, averaging 8 yards a pop, had 4 touchdowns, and the Dragons have a lot of weapons at running back.
Now listen, he's a little guy, 5'9", but 225. He packs a load. And in those thighs especially.
Running behind a Dragon offensive line that, as expected, is just blowing huge holes. Another one.
Laying a handoff, an angle to the end zone. Evans, touchdown. He ran right toward the pylon, handed to the official right after he got across. Touchdown from 7 yards out.
Yep, business-like attitude there. I get a great block from the big boys up front. I make one guy miss, walk into the end zone, hand it to the official, go back to the sideline and say, let's keep going.
Lots of handshakes and high fives as everybody comes off the field, and Hutchinson leads it 33-0 with 1:13 to go in quarter one.
So his 5th touchdown on the year. The only guy running the ball with more is Mark Wright with 6.
Looks like Garcia's in there again. The point after is good. 34-10. Hutchinson with the lead. So we'll get a break in as we will get set to get the kickoff coming from Hutchinson. 1:13 to go in quarter number one. It's Hutchinson 34, RPA nothing. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Network right after this.
No time to fix breakfast? Just call us at Anchor Away 662-3100 and we'll have it ready for you. Choose from our selection of breakfast burritos, biscuits, or one of our 5 different complete breakfast plates. Breakfast from 7 to 10:30, Monday through Saturday. If you missed us for breakfast, we're here for lunch and dinner too. Pick up your favorite Mexican dinner or take some home for the family. We're open till 9. That's Anchor Away, drive-through, carry-out, and catering under the water tower at B & Adams in Hutchinson, 662-3100.
34-0. Hutchinson on top at 1:13 to go, quarter number one. We would be amiss if we didn't say happy birthday to Coach Gooch, the athletic department of Hutchinson Community College.
Yes, he's up here in the booth and
doing some dancing.
You can dance on your birthday.
Yes, you can. You certainly can. He doesn't know we're talking about him, does he?
Well,
all right, here comes the kickoff. It's going to be taken really short, missed, and then fell on at the 27. It was touched by the up back right there, and couldn't get a hold of it, and kick was recovered, though, however, on the ball that sailed away from him right to the 30, back to the 26-yard line, first and 10 for RPA.
One of his teammates fell on the ball and secured it. First and foremost, that's what you want to do, as they will take over at the 26-yard line, and really they have not got much done offensively.
Yeah, and Rick Mishmore looked like he was going to try to jump up, and he did touch it, which would have made it a wide ball, so he knew somebody had to get on it. Wakefield's still in there, quarterback. Back to pass is Wakefield, sets up, rolls to his right side. Now he lets it go all the way down the field, just about intercepted, in and out of Art Green's hands again. Incomplete. That's 2 opportunities he's had. That one skipped away, and that might have had 6 on it.
Well, there's an old story in football. The reason you play corner is because you're fast like a wide receiver, but maybe you don't have the hands of the receiver. And Art Green has had 2 opportunities to intercept. But the great thing is he's been where he's supposed to be to make the play, and he darn near made 2 of them. But he did what he had to do and at least kept the receiver from catching.
2nd and 10 for RPAs. Wakefield steps up. Now steps away, but not from the second man through. Coming in again was Bankston to get the big stop out there. Loss on the play in a big time. Actually, that was number 88 for Hutchinson defensively, getting it done. That's Roland.
Was it 98 or
88? Demeco Roland comes up and gets the big stop.
That is a
nice. You got me thinking now. I'll double check it here in a second.
Well, one of the big fellas up front got a sack.
Might have been Charles Johnson.
Yeah, 98. Dennis Jackson.
Yeah, Dennis Jackson out there as well.
99.
I'll have to double check because they got those uniforms pulled so tight. But whoever it was made a nice play. 3rd down and 19. Wakefield on the draw to the left side, trying to get to the corner. He scampers out close to the 30-yard line on the run. Williams on the carry.
Randy, pretty good run that time, getting some production.
And great hesitation on the running back's part, because he had a guy in front of him, stopped, made the guy miss, and got him a few more yards.
Little chilly on the sideline tonight.
It is.
46 degrees, Randy. I give you a lot of credit. You're sticking it out down there.
The wind from the north is what does it.
Yes.
4th down now. As the punt situation looks like they're going to go for it. So they will not punt. 4th down and 6. Wakefield's back in that shotgun.
If they don't pooch punt this, they're crazy.
That might be what they're doing. They'll put trips on the right side. Wakefield back to pass, steps up to his left side. Now he's going to run it, and he's going to get the first down just by a yard.
Wow. Taking some chances. I know you're down 34-0, but that was gutsy.
Well, you're running your quarterback, Randy, too. You don't want to lose him. So.
But I think looking at some of the things that they've been doing here the last few possessions that they've had, it would be a good idea. Go ahead and go for it, because it's getting close.
Yep, that's the end of the first quarter. So your score, 34-0. Hutchinson on top. That takes us to the second quarter of play. We'll be back with more after you hear this on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Big texters, heavy data users, helicopter moms, Nextech Wireless has you covered. And right now, we have the perfect deal going on. Here it is. For a limited time, 4 lines of unlimited data cost $120. Plus, you get 2 free iPhone 11s or Galaxy S10es when you activate any 2 devices. So get on down to Nextech Wireless and check it out. Get your free smartphones and unlimited data today at Nextech Wireless. We'll keep you connected. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
If you could own a vacuum that would last decades for under $200, would that pique your interest? The bag lady Donna Pitzer has bought out the inventory of another Panasonic dealer and is passing the savings on to you. Panasonic vacuums are the standard for many, and right now, get a top-of-the-line Panasonic Performance vacuum for only $199.95. These vacuums normally sell for $400, but right now, you can own one for only $199.95 with free delivery. These prices won't last, and neither will these vacuums. Call the bag lady Donna Pitzer at 663-4322.
Second quarter of play, 34-0. Hutchinson on top. This is Blue Dragon football right here on KHUT Hutchinson, as well as KWBW Hutchinson, right here in the Salt City. And after a pickup of a first down, it'll be 1st and 10 now for RPA Wildcats. They'll move right to left as you listen. To give on the outside, trying to get some room out there, and just going to be hog-tied and thrown down to the 35-yard line. That time it was big 99 penny for the Blue Dragons.
Charles Johnson, he goes 336. He's about as big a defensive lineman as the Dragons will throw at you.
RPA trying to run Crook Williams around it outside. It went nowhere, Randy.
And I'll tell you what, down here on the sidelines, you can tell there is a big size difference between the two.
Oh, yeah, you betcha. I was looking at their roster, and you can tell as well as there's a big size difference. And Rob already talked about the disparity in the numbers. And I mean by way of 45, 48 maybe. Here's Wakefield. Steps up, throws the football, and knocked away. Good coverage on that far side. At about the 50-yard line, Hutchinson has some nice coverage over there.
Coming out of there limping a little bit.
There's Colvin? Yeah, Colvin. Marquise Colvin, defensive back out of Ruskin, Florida. Might have tweaked an ankle just a little bit. Looks like he's going to be able to walk it off. He's a return man as well. So big 3rd down and 12 now for RPA.
Clock has stopped. It has been a very long first quarter, and we're just now starting the second.
Yeah, 34-0. You've just tuned in. Hutchinson on top. Blue Dragons have got a couple long scoring plays, and interesting run a little while ago by Evans from 2 yards out. Back to pass. Wakefield running for his life. Incomplete pass. Got the ball to the receiver, but he could not gather it in. Goes incomplete. 4th down and a punt time again.
Yeah, probably should have caught the ball. Quarterback put it where it needed to be, and the receiver just didn't make the catch.
So the Wildcats will punt the football away. Hutchinson will send a couple back again. This time for Hutchinson back deep is going to be Corey Lee. Corey Lee out of LaPlace, Louisiana.
So
and Colvin as well.
New blood out there for Hutchinson.
And Marquise Colvin. Here comes the punt. Kind of short. It's right at the 45. Takes the Blue Dragon bounce. It'll be down at the 46-yard line. As Wildcats got a hand on it, as Gregory Cook touched it.
What little wind there is here, he was kicking kind of into the teeth of it. You can see the ball dying and goes for not much more than a 20-yard punt. And Hutchinson will be in business at their 47.
Congratulations to local teams around the area, Randy, getting some state championships in Buter in golf and in second place in tennis as well. They're participating in volleyball. Hutchinson as well is getting set for sub-states.
And you're probably going to talk all about that on Monday night on the Reno County Coaches Show.
We sure will. Monday night, BW Radio, the Reno County Coaches Show at 6:30. Flags on the play, stops the play.
False start, Dragons. Hutch has played this pretty cleanly that time. Somebody
Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Sharif did a good job. Of course, Mark Wright is the leader of this team from a quarterback standpoint. He has been phenomenal for Hutchinson this year, and no way were you going to trot him out in a game like
I
this.
didn't see him suited up. If he was on the sidelines, I missed him.
He was.
He was? Okay. I was going to say he might be in the library for all we know. They give on the right side. And Collins, the running back, has some room all the way out to the 50-yard line. Got a lot of that 5-yard penalty back and more. Takes it just short of the 50. Brings up a second down and 7.
Collins average about 4 yards a pop.
Doubled
that
it on
time
that
he got
carry.
4. Or excuse me, because of the penalty, he got 9.
So he'll set up in that backfield. They'll split wideouts on the left and right with trips on the left side. High snap, but the give to Collins. Straight big opener right up the middle. 40, down to the 30. 20, 10. It's going to be a Hutchinson touchdown as Collins takes it in the end zone from 50 yards out.
Well, that is a beautiful job by Collins. 3rd touchdown on the season. And once he broke through, there was nobody that was going to touch him.
And what a job by the front line. The lineman just blew it, the hole, big hole open for Collins to run through.
That was his 4th carry of the, that was his 5th carry of the football game, and that one goes for a TD.
Yeah, 50-yard TD, 40-0. Hutchinson with the big run, and Collins was off to the races. Here's the point after try. Down and on its way and up and good. And your score with 13-12 remaining to go. Again, we're still in the first half of play. 13-12 to go in the second quarter. 41-0 is your lead for Hutchinson. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Hi, Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Ford. Truck month is on, and the savings are great. Like take $11,000 off MSRP on a 2019 Ford F-150 Crew Cab 4x4. No gimmicks, everybody qualifies. Or how about $7,000 off a 2019 Edge ST all-wheel drive and 0% for 60 months. That's right, big savings and 0% on this Edge. Come out and see all the other savings during Truck Month at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
41-0. Hutchinson on top, 13-12 to go. Rob just wide open up the middle was Collins, and he was broken open at about the 35, and he was off to the races.
Yep, 81 yards now with that 50-yard run. And the Dragons, 264 yards of offense to RPA's 48.
Here's Garcia's kick. It's going to be sailed into the end zone. He's going to bring it out up to the 5, to the 10. He's going to angle to the right side and be dropped right there. Maybe not a good idea.
No.
Out to the 12-yard line. I thought he was going to hesitate and take a knee over there, and RPA decided, hey, I'm going to go for it and bring it out.
I think it's getting to the point now it's, okay, let's just go for it and do what we can.
Well, and they faced that a lot this year. They lost their last game to Trinity Valley 70-7. They've been in a couple close games this year. There, I'm looking at the coach with the return man talking to him. I think he's saying, hey, that doesn't really do us any good. You're giving Hutchinson good field position, and we should have had it out for the touchback at the 25.
So they'll go back on offense. 11 yards on the ground, 37 yards via the air. They have 3 first downs in the game.
Wakefield, the quarterback. The turn to give to the first man through and carries forward to about the 10-yard line.
He's going to
lose a yard, yeah. Drop right there.
Maybe even 2.
Hutchinson stacking it up in the middle, and Harris, Navy Harris, haven't called his name all night long. He made the stop.
Hutch has been so good against the run this year. 2nd and 12, clock moving at least.
Harris out of Alabama. 2nd down and 12. Back at the 10-yard line of RPA. Wildcats bring it up. Still in a shotgun formation is Wakefield. Gets the snap, fakes the handoff, and now he rolls to his right. Man on him, spins him down right at the 1, really close to the safety, but he's out by about a yard.
Ask Ryan Rhodes if this team was one of the top 2 defensively, and he said, well, statistic-wise, no. But the difference in caliber of talent that we play in the conference now with unlimited state players, he's like, yeah, this defense is probably, top 2 or 3 of any we've put on the field since I've been here.
Go back to the days when you could bring in 20 kids, and probably 12 of those were defensive players. You maybe had 8 skilled players.
That's right.
And you probably activated 12 or so of those. You went with elite. Not to say this isn't elite, but you have a lot more talent out there. So across the middle, incomplete pass. He stretched out, could not get to it. Will bring up a 4th down situation, and
no flag on the play.
No flag on the play. That stretching out was China, Kahil China. Again, he's out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Stretched out, couldn't get to it.
You got to punt the ball now from your end zone into a wind, and Hutchinson, I would not be surprised if they don't field this punt somewhere around the 25 or 30-yard line.
Could do it. I stand corrected. Young man's out of Killeen, Texas. Got off the line. So here, not a whole lot of room back there to punt from. And here comes the RPA punt. Angles it. It's going to be taken on a run at the 30 by the Blue Dragons. Colvin up the field to the 20, then the 15, 10. Angles for the pylon. Might have got in. What do they say? Yes, touchdown Hutchinson.
Wow! Did a great job of staying in bounds and then hitting the pylon for the touchdown.
Well, we watched him settle in and get the ball at the 30, and then he turned it up. And Randy, you were down there right around the 10-yard line. He turned it up and just had enough room to get to the pylon.
Yeah, he was. There was one of the defenders bearing down on him, but he took a dive and got just inside the pylon.
Now I'll say special teams getting it done.
You're right.
I was in error earlier. It was a good defense that got it done, but that was special teams all the way. And Colvin taking it to the house.
Papa John's sideline reports by Randy McKay.
Here's the kick is up and on its way, and it is good. And 47-0. That's right if you just tuned in. 48-0 if you just tuned in. Hutchinson with another touchdown to make it 48 Hutchinson, 0 for RPA. 11:28 to go in this first half of play. We'll be back for the Blue Dragon kickoff right after this.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, 48-0 Hutchinson on top of RPA with 11:21 to go in the first half of play. We're in the second quarter. Any other year, you'd say that Ryan Rhodes would go as deep into his lineup as he could, get those kids time. At the same time, you need to keep your team sharp, and we're running after a national championship possibility. And unfortunately, RPA's in the way of that, Rob, and he'll pull some things off in the second half probably, but you can't tell kids, hey, just lay down.
Yeah,
they can't tell them that.
They practice hard, and they're going to get some time here in the first half, and then Hutchinson will play a lot of people in the second half. By then, 48-0 this game in all likelihood already is out of hand. But
so here comes the kickoff by the Blue Dragons. High kick, end-over-end kick, drives the RPA player all the way back, and he'll take a knee. It'll be a touchback for Hutchinson, and Williams this time took a knee, and I think that's what you're going to find out that he talked to with his coach over there to say, young man, you put us at the 12, look what they did to us, ended up getting 6 out of it. Here, let's see what we can do with pretty good yardage all the way out to the 25.
Well, no rushing yards for RPA now, 37 yards passing. That's their total offense. Thankfully, neither team has been penalized much. Each team with just a penalty. RPA does have one turnover. Hutchinson has been clean. They did drop the ball on the punt, but recovered.
No break huddle. Comes up still in the shotgun. It's Wakefield. Looks to the sidelines, checks off at the call. And let's see if they are looking to see what they say. And now they come in and reset. Now we get set to go with only 8 on the play clock. Wakefield back to pass. Steps up. And all of a sudden he gets hit. Incomplete pass, but he barely got rid of the football.
He was popped. That was a blitz by one of the Dragon backers.
It looks like it came in on Anthony Hill Jr. was out there.
It's a good play by him off a blitz.
Upper Marlboro, Maryland, where he is from. We haven't called his name a whole lot this year.
You're going to call a lot of guys' names.
You betcha. Number 92, if you're listening from the stands by chance or watching it on the live stream.
A freshman, and this is what these guys live for. Show up on tape and give the coaches something to talk about
Wakefield,
tomorrow.
a handoff. No, he keeps it himself. Tries to turn the corner, nothing there as he saw defensive players barreling down on him. Stop was made by Roger Yards. And it'll be a 3rd down and long, 3rd and about 12 situation. Yardie, excuse me.
I'm telling you, quarterback saw him still there. He's like, you're not supposed to be there after that fake, and he went nowhere. So 3rd and 12 with 10:46 to go.
In the second quarter of play, Hutch on top. Glenn Grunwald, Rob Dreher, along with Randy McKay on the sidelines, courtesy of Papa John's Pizza. Wakefield gets out of the pocket, throws it across the middle. Catch was just about made, but incomplete pass. Well, two in the area. Pick was just about garnered there by Isaiah Todd.
Yep, just about had the interception, Randy, and it just kind of popped out at the end.
Well, he happened to run into one of the intended receivers. I say one of the intended receivers because there were 2 of them right there, and that's what knocked the ball loose.
4th down situation here.
They've had a lot of those. So now, -2 rushing yards is RPA.
Low snap. Gets the ball away, however, some way, and Hutchinson lets it bounce. Takes an RPA bounce all the way to the 48-yard lines where they're going to mark it. So Hutch will have it, at their own 48 with 10:22 to go in this second quarter of play. Glad to have everybody along, especially those that have fought the cold, come to Gowans Stadium and all bundled up out there. Nice crowd.
Reginald Foster Jr. that time probably should have let the ball, take another bounce, Randy. It was still bouncing, and he picked it up. Might have got another 5-7 yards.
That's always the possibility, but then again, it could also – footballs bounce funny.
They do.
And it could have just as easily bounced back towards
That's because they're built how they're built. That's how they that's why they bounce
is that the reason for that?
Yeah, true balls are round like a basketball. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And thus they call them the pigskin. All right. Back to passes. Hutchinson steps up, and nothing there, but still picks up positive yardage to the 49-yard line. Goes the quarterback for Hutchinson, Lane.
So Sharif Brown played the first quarter, and he was 3 for 6, 42 yards, and also had 3 rushes for 87 yards and a touchdown. Now the Dragons going with another QB.
Lane, the quarterback. Steps up, gets the snap, hands it off to cross up the middle to the 40, to the 30-yard line, breaks loose from one tackler, down to the 15, 10, still on his feet, and rolls to the 8, loses the football. I think he might have got back on it at about the 2-yard line. My goodness.
He was tripped up, and he broke a tackle, broke another tackle, and then he started to stumble, and he went down before getting into the end zone. He wanted to finish that thing off.
And they'll actually mark it at about the 9-yard line where his knee hit. So first and goal from, we'll say the 8. First and goal from the 8. Inside of Wildcat territory. Lane, the quarterback, to give to Cross. Crosses the 5, trying to work his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Dragons. From 8 yards out, Krause with second effort took it in, and that's only fitting. You took it from the 50 all the way down to the 8-yard line, and you're really mad at yourself because you stumbled and bumbled it away, and now you take it to the end zone for 6 with 9:11 to go.
That's Cross's 5th touchdown, as Tyon Evans got his 5th touchdown in this game as well. Those two guys saying, you know what, You get one, I'm going to get one. They've kind of gone back and forth.
54-0. Hutchinson with the big lead with 9:11 to go in the second quarter. Here's the point after. Kick is up, and it is good. And with 9:11 remaining to go in the second quarter of play, it's Hutch 55. The RPA Wildcats nothing. We'll be back with the Hutch kickoff when we return right after this on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
In need of a business loan? With the First, you are promised personal service and commercial lending. Whether your business is just getting started or you're ready to expand, the First has solutions to help make your business successful. We're First for you. Find out how our loan experts can help. Visit fnbhutch.bank to get started or stop into a location nearest you. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
9:11 to go in this first half of play. We're in the second quarter, 55-0 Hutchinson, and boy, Blue Dragons came to play against RPA. They knew they weren't going to be too much of a challenge, but they scored and scored very effectively from just about any point on the field, Rob.
You know, it's cool that Cross had that 40-yard run and it was kind of tripped up, that he gets to finish it off then with the 8-yard run, and the Dragons have put up 316 yards of offense and 274 of it coming on the ground.
All right, here comes the Blue Dragons kickoff. They get a toe into it. It's going to be driven all the way back and through the end zone. Nice kickoff right there, and becomes a touchdown back with 9:11 to go in the second quarter. We'd be amiss if we didn't pass along our condolences to Greg Cross, who lost his mother earlier today. Greg's been back on his second tent as a assistant coach. So I'm not talking about Kendall Cross. I'm talking about Greg Cross. He was a quarterback for Ryan Rhodes at Fort Scott before Rhodes came to Hutchinson. Also, his little brother Adrian, who played at Texas Tech, played here for Blue Dragons a couple years ago. So our thoughts and prayers with the Cross family. They're from Norcross, Georgia, and Greg and Adrian lost their mother earlier today.
Well, RPA takes the ball. They have 35 yards of total offense in this game.
All right, to give around that outside edge and trying to work his way all the way down. And what do you have there? Incomplete pass.
Yep.
Wakefield tried to pull something down there on the long pass and makes it second down and 10.
He is 3 of 14 passing, has a pick. Art Green could have 2 interceptions in the game that aren't in the statistics. So technically, Wakefield's lucky he hasn't thrown 3 interceptions, and he just has had really no chance back there. So second and 10.
Art playing better in latter weeks. He started off the season kind of tough.
And he had an injury.
He had an injury that cost him a little bit there, but one of the most sought after defensive backs in the nation.
He's got talent. In fact, big-time Division I talent, and got to be healthy sometimes to really showcase it.
Going back to visit Tennessee, that looks to be his team of choice. There's a ball, and they're going to sling it down on the ground. Would that be a downing, or will it be just an incomplete pass?
Going to say that it's an incomplete pass. I think the officials in a 55-0 game are going to give you some leniency. And Randy, we're not going to have one there.
He was definitely in the grasp.
Oh, yeah, he was in the grasp, and I don't know that really necessarily there was anybody, a valid receiver, in the area.
I would agree. You look at the scoreboard, and you're like, yeah, that's okay. Let's go to the next play. It's going to be 3rd and 10 anyway, with 8:59 to go here in the second quarter of play.
8:59 remaining here in the second quarter.
3rd down, 10. They have not been successful on 3rd down in this game.
Back to pass is Wakefield. Steps up, wants to run it, but throws it down the field, and it's going to be picked off. This time, Art Green got his. Had 2 other opportunities that time. He made the catch.
And that, was funny. That was harder than the 2 that he dropped.
It really was, because he had to catch him, look down, and get a foot down really, really quick.
Holy cow, that is big time. Playing, they're playing a 2 deep, cover 2 with the safeties back, and Green that time made the perfect read on the football. Quarterback probably shouldn't have forced it, and that's the second pick.
It happened right here in front of me, and yeah, he was tight roping.
Sure was.
8:52 to go in the second quarter of play.
And then when he ran out of bounds, guys, he had to jump over the bench on the Dragons sideline. That could have been problematic.
Exactly. Okay, now here we go. Hutchinson football. First and 10 for the Blue Dragons. Low snap. Loose fumble on the field, still loose, and going to be picked up, I believe, by an RPA player. That play didn't have a prayer from the start of it. And Lane just fumbled it away. It was a bad exchange. Ends up being a turnover.
Yeah, and Ryan Rhodes, I don't care if the score is 55-0 or what. He was not happy about the execution on that play. That was just not well executed.
Let's go to Randy McCann on the sidelines. Randy, it looked like he never got the handle on the football from the exchange from the center.
He did not get the exchange, and then he tried to hand off and missed it as well. And recovered by Kirby Archer for the RPA Wildcats.
8:46 to go. Again, we're in quarter number 2 here at Gowans Stadium. Back to pass, thrown on the right side, incomplete. Boy, he just threw away. Yeah. Wakefield barely got rid of the football, so he had some Blue Dragons bearing down on him.
Had no chance.
Rolling out there.
Yeah, that's 88, D'Amico Roland, and he's got some time in this game, and it's just funny. The Dragons up front defensively, their depth is insane. They got guys on this team on the sideline that would start for most teams in junior college football.
Roland, again, out of Montgomery, Alabama.
He's applied pressure multiple
times. Check that. He's out Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Got on the wrong line. I apologize to his parents. Got on the wrong line right there out of Broken Arrow, down by Tulsa.
Yep.
They're growing big down in Tulsa, let me tell you. Wakefield, the quarterback, back to pass. Rolls over on the right side, a little rolling pocket, throws it down, and catch is made at the 25, and just enough for the first down, I believe.
Initially, he had enough for the first down, but then he started running back.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to mark it where his last forward progress was, and it'll be short then at the 29, so third down and 3.
It's one of the better throws by Wakefield, and he put that one on the money. Crossfield throw. And a really good catch.
Yeah, he kind of rolled out of the pocket. I described it as a rolling pocket. Kind of rolled out and made the catch. Looked like the receiver had the first down, but then his progress took him out of that and to the 29 now with third down and 3.
Proud Dragon defense. They don't want to give up any scores.
Hutch showing blitz. To the right side. Ball's knocked away. Great defensive effort over there by the Blue Dragons.
Almost picked off, then almost caught.
Colvin made the big play over there. The flag on the play is
offside. Defense, number 24. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That's only the second penalty for Hutch. RPA with only 1 penalty. Love the fact that these guys have let them play, and we haven't seen a lot of laundry on the field.
First and 10 for RPA. The Wildcats with the ball on the Blue Dragon 24-yard line. Their deepest penetration into Blue Dragon territory. Turn to give on the right side. Straight ahead running across the 25-yard line. Little or no game on the play.
Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Oliver McDowell that time in on the tackle. And RPA still with negative yardage on the ground at -2. Had some success throwing, not a lot when you've got 44 yards of total offense here with 7:20 to go in the first half. Not a good day, but they have completed some passes.
Curtis Williams stays back in that backfield for RPA. Second down and 10 for Wakefield. Wildcats have the ball. Back to pass. Gets protection. The pass picked off by the Hutchinson Blue Dragons at the 22. Up the field goes the Blue Dragons all the way to the 40 and drop right there. Great run back. Good job of the Blue Dragons. Number 30 out there, Roger Yardy.
And that's, a guy that's a freshman, and he's getting some playing time. And all of a sudden, Ryan Rhodes and company go back and watch film tomorrow, and they're like, hey, number 30 flashed multiple times in this game, Randy.
Yeah, most definitely. And, of course, finally got his hands on it and just about took it to the house.
Yes, he's a linebacker out of Sebring, Florida, and he didn't have to move too much. He didn't jump around or anything. He just took it right to it. Wakefield evidently didn't see him out there, and a big pick.
His third pick. He could have 5 interceptions in this game.
Back to give up the middle. Hutchinson keeps it around the outside, trying to make some room all the way down to the 10-5. Touchdown, Blue Dragons. White on the run from outside. 40 yards. Mark it to the house. Another long running touchdown for the Blue Dragons.
Bounced off a couple of defenders, kept the feet moving, and takes it to the house as the Dragons have put 61 on the board here, and we're still in the second quarter.
Quitman, Georgian's own Jonathan White from 40 yards out. Once he turned that corner to 20, he was off to the races, scoring in a big way.
40 yards officially.
61-0. Hutchinson with the lead with 6:46 to go in the second quarter of play. Kick is up and on its way, and it is good. So 6:46 to go. Again, we are in the second quarter of play. 62-0. Hutchinson with the lead. We'll be back with the Hutch Kickoff coming your way right after this on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Hutch CC Sports on Radio is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members. Mega Manufacturing, Sporting Chiropractic Center, Papa John's Pizza, A&A Builders, Barclay Plumbing Company, Sutton Coffin Transmission Service, Lowen Corporation, Old Office Shares, Dr. Eric Severud with Alliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Todd and Cindy Miller of Homestead Senior Care, Man Wyatt and Rice Injury Lawyers, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, and the Green Vision Group of Hutchinson.
6:46 to go in the second quarter of play. 62-0. Blue Dragons all over RPA. And again, they just about set a record a couple years ago, 91-0, wasn't it? Something like that?
Yes.
And
the
then
Dragons
82-0 last year.
91 in 2017. Hutchinson 352 yards of total hop hits, and 310 have come on the ground.
So Hutch will kick it off. And now we get set. Here comes the kick. High kick will not make the end zone this time. At the 4-yard line, it's taken straight up the middle. It's Williams on the turn on the edge, gets around the outside, still on his feet. We dropped at about the 28-yard line where his forward progress is marked right there, and it'll be RPA's ball from that direction.
I don't think I've ever seen a Blue Dragon football team put triple digits on the board, but
I haven't in my 23 years here.
They could do it tonight.
Exactly.
I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying the Dragons aren't doing anything fancy. They're getting scores off of picks.
Well, you're going to see that when you see the stats on the touches, basically.
Yeah.
It's going to be so many plays and a whole ton of yards because they're getting big openers, 50 yards, 40 yards, interceptions. Bad snap, and it's going to be controlled, though, by RPA back to the 18. So, I mean, as you've indicated, it's not a run-up type of thing. They're not driving it down the field. It's big openers that kids are wanting to show what they got, and they're getting it done. Second down and 18 to go. Football at the 13-yard line. Oh, check that, 17-yard line for RPA.
Clock ticking. Still 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Wakefield puts that left foot down. Now the snap, back to pass, out of the pocket to the right side. Steps up and lets it fling, incomplete pass.
Dragons brought pressure, brought a couple of extra guys, flushed the quarterback out, rolled to his right. Nobody there, smartly throws it out of bounds. He's like, I've thrown 3 picks already. I don't need to throw any more. And now 4 of 20 is Jason Wakefield throwing the football, Randy. He's had a tough day.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that that was even intended to be an incomplete pass. It was just a first bad pass that he's thrown, I think.
Randy, 44 degrees. Looks like it's about an 8 mile per hour wind on my weather device on my phone, which could be out at the airport. It's certainly in around here.
Kudos to the people that showed up here tonight. I am surprised by how many people have come out.
This is when you bring your girlfriend, Rob. There's no doubt about that. They want to throw the football, throws it down, he downs it, and an incomplete pass. This is when you want to cuddle up.
You saw the quarterback roll to his left. He's a right-handed quarterback, and I'm not even going to comment on that, Clint. That was so bad. He's rolling to his left, throwing across the grain, and puts it in the ground. That shows you when Patrick Mahomes does that, he makes it look like this is the easiest thing on the planet to do, and you just saw right there, that's not
no,
easy.
It's not easy at all. It's just an unorthodox way of throwing the football because you want to have that follow through. You want to plant a leg.
Yeah,
you're not able to do it, and it just ends up going boom. Here they're going to punt the football away. Here comes those a fake punt. They're running for his life. He's going to twist it up at about the 8-yard line and take it down right there. 4th down in a punting situation, and a big stop made by the Blue Dragons.
I think, Randy, that there was some kind of I don't know if he caught it, not cleanly or what, but it didn't appear like they were going to fake a punt there. It just didn't work out, and then all of a sudden the pressure was there, and they're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there on that one. Just a bad handle of the snap. The snap wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was just handled badly.
And then we started to think, okay, it's time to get rid of this. There was a Dragon already there.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I do? So Hutchinson, already leading 62-0, will get the football at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, inside the red zone, 1st and goal from the 9. So Hutchinson sets up. Of course, we had to fumble a little while ago, so let's see what we can do. It's Arrington at quarterback now. Nolan Arrington to give to the outside and trying to work his way through, and finally dropped at about the 4-yard line, running back out there. I think it's Kendall Cross, I believe, or is it a new number? New number out there for now for the Blue Dragons. Might be Cleveland. Let's check it. Arrington looks to the bench. It was Ray Samuel on the carry.
Ray Samuel had a really good game.
5 yards he picked up here, and he had a good game last week. You're right.
Yes, he did.
Ray Samuel, again out of Pensacola, Florida. Wonder how he's liking the winter months in Hutchinson as the fall came through the door this week, didn't it?
Yeah, that was Monday, wasn't it? The wind was in the
give up to Samuels. Touchdown, Blue Dragons, and he lost the cross.
He flipped into the end zone, Randy.
Yeah, it was a good play by RPA, but it was just too close to the end zone as to flip the guy over, and he's in the end zone.
So Samuel had the 5-yard rush prior to that. Then the Dragons reward him and say, why don't you just go ahead and take it on in for a touchdown? And Samuel gets it into the end zone. As, guys, that is his first touchdown by a Blue Dragon.
68-0. 4:46 to go in the second quarter of play. That's right. If you tuned in, we're in the second quarter. Here's the point after kick. It is up, and it is good. And with 4:46 to go in quarter number 2, the Blue Dragons lead it 69-0. We'll be back to the Blue Dragon kickoff after you hear this from our fine Blue Dragon sponsors right here on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
When you're looking for jewelry that's one of a kind, remember Amelia Bedelia is filled with thousands of beads and stones, and with my passion for design, I can create something that's perfect for you. Amelia Bedelia is 115 and a half South Main Street in downtown Hutchinson. Go Blue Dragons!
This is Kelly, owner of Brick House Boutique. Stay warm and look fabulous at the same time with comfy, trendy, and affordable clothing. You'll also appreciate the personal attention that you'll always get when you shop at Brick House Boutique. Big City Chic in a downtown boutique at 117 South Main in Hutchinson.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. 69-0. Hutchinson with the lead over RPA, and this breaks the record that Hutchinson set for the most points in a half, guys. At 69. Guess who they set the record against at 63?
Yep, RPA.
That's right, a couple years ago. So Blue Dragons off and running, and nice job by the Blue Dragons.
I believe it was 63 2 years ago.
Yes, it was. It was 63. So Ray Samuels took it into the end zone, 69-0.
Hutchinson with 361 yards of offense to RPA's 25.
Randy McKay, I think you could have taken the end zone on that big hole over there. You know what? Oh, maybe in your younger day.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Here comes the kick into the end zone. They'll take a knee, and they'll bring it out on the touchback. So RPA's had a long half, but they've had a lot of long halves this year. You know, they're trying to put the program together. They got a new head coach this year. It's only in his second year. There's Kyle Providence. I give the young man a lot of credit. He's playing some pretty good competition in Cisco and Trinity Valley and Hutchinson.
And they'll get a nice check. You know, they don't play home games. They go play everywhere else that people want them to come, and they're happy to do so. And it is what it is. And Hutchinson taking advantage of every opportunity that's been given to them. And, you know, they put the ball on the ground once, really. Only mistake they've made. They've played this pretty cleanly.
They really have. So they'll be back in the shotgun again. Wakefield's still back there at quarterback, I believe. And then get set here to get going on a 4:46 to go before halftime. Slapping the ball. There's a Wildcat play that they give it off to the running back that cuts across and picks up positive yardage all the way out close to the first down.
Yeah, great run that time by RPA, and I think that's going to be good enough to maybe move the chains.
Well, they set up in a regular quarterback back there in the shotgun, but then over on his left side angles as the ball was snapped and went right into the hands of, I believe it's Hillstack, number 26 out there, and he just takes it around that outside and picked up the first down.
And with that 10-yard run, guys, they are still negative 9 yards rushing in the game.
But there is something positive to work on.
Sure, that was a great run.
All right, Wakefield, the quarterback again. He has trips on the left side. Back to pass, fakes the pass on the outside to throw, incomplete.
Yep. Quarterback threw one way, receiver went the other way, and they'll walk back, and one of them's going to say, you didn't run the right route.
And again, go ahead.
Like the way you say that, one of them is going to say you didn't run the right route.
But some quarterback's going to say that.
Somebody
He's going to take a
didn't do what they
leadership
were
role out
supposed
there.
to do.
He's going to take the leadership role. He's in the young man's out of Louisiana.
Well, quarterbacks have made mistakes before where they'll tell the receiver, you know what, yep, that was my mistake. I thought you were running it out, and he ran it in. And
Jason Wakefield, the quarterback, has gone the distance here. 3:55 to go in this second quarter play. 69-0 Hutchinson. Back to pass, nothing there except for a bunch of Blue Dragons, a couple of them for the sack at the 32-yard line.
Well, that's going to be a big loss on the play. And RPA now will look at a third down and about 12.
You're exactly right. 3:32 to go in this. Again, the ball's at the 33 in the second quarter of play. If we haven't called some of the big guys, like we called Gaines' number once, I believe, or maybe not. I'm not sure we even called Gaines' number, but Banks and some of these, let some of the backups like Jackson and those guys get a little bit of work out there. There's an incomplete pass that was just about picked off at the 50. It ends up being a fourth down punting situation with 3 minutes to go. By the time they get this off, Randy, it should be close to right at 3 minutes remaining to go before halftime.
Yeah, and that pass, the receiver was looking for a little pass interference, but no call being made.
So 4th and 12 will be what the Wildcats face. Hutchinson leading 69-0 next week. That'll be a week from Saturday. A game at 1 o'clock out in Garden City. It will be a big one. It'll be for the conference championship, basically, against the Bronxbusters, who are playing pretty good football. Here's the punt, partially deflected, and they hit it at the 45. It take a RPA bounce all the way down inside of Blue Dragon territory at the 44. Somebody got a hand on it.
They did. And the punter was fortunate to still get at least a pretty decent bounce and roll.
So Hutchinson will have the football. Let's see who Hutchinson's out now. We've seen 3 different quarterbacks from the Blue Dragons. Actually 4. Last one was Arrington, so we've had Lane and up to 3.
3.
Yep, because Brown. And have not seen Mark Wright tonight, nor will we.
Don't think you'll see Brown again either.
Wright's out there at running back along with Arrington, the quarterback.
And White has had a good game. Jonathan White, that one carry for 40 yards and a touchdown.
And there he gets it again. He's going to try to skip to the outside. Gets there, 50-yard line to the 45, to the 40, down to the 35, 30, cuts upstream, up to the 20, steps away, all the way to the 10, 5. Touchdown, Blue Dragons. What a run by White.
Oh, my goodness. I kept waiting for him to get tackled and get tackled again and get tackled again. And there he is. He never gets tackled, makes it in the end zone.
56 yards, but there's a flag on the play.
Maybe coming back.
Oh, boy.
Offense, number 82, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
It was a very nice run by Jonathan White. Really used his blockers well, especially when he got inside the 20 and then took extra effort to get into the end zone. But maybe that's why he got open around that edge.
The thing that's impressive, though, is, after he got around the edge, but what he did after that, and the coaches will look at that on film and say, holy cow, that was a spectacular run. 3rd penalty for Hutch. RPA only 1 penalty in the game, so not many flags here in the first half. Love that.
2:43 to go in this Second quarter of play, they'll mark it back. It'll be a 1st and 20 at the 34 for Hutchinson. What do? Hand it off to White again. see what kind of...
No, White's over catching
Yeah,
his
he
breath.
probably is catching his breath. I was going to say. They'll turn and give it to another running back there, and not as much of an effort, but does get back about 9 yards of that loss.
Well, the effort was good.
Cleveland on the carry. And a pickup of 9 yards on the carry, 2nd down and 11.
Saw Cleveland for the first time last week. Samuel.
Adel, Georgia. Now the freshman, Darius Cleveland. That's the future of the Blue Dragons that you're looking at out there. With Arrington along with Cleveland and Samuels, White. Good running backs.
I'll tell you, the last few years, the Blue Dragons have had a fantastic stable of running backs.
Yeah, White, White is a sophomore, so shouldn't include him in the mix, but he's a good one. The turn, a gift straight up the middle again. Cleveland's got some room to the outside. He'll pop to the 40, jumped up there, down to the 36-yard line. Positive yardage, moves the chains. Nice first down. They'll mark it officially at the 37.
Dragons continue to pile on the rushing yards, over 350 rushing yards here in this first half.
1:37 to go in this third period of play. We'll get a halftime break as we'll do the Medicine Shop in-game capsule and take a little break and come back and talk amongst ourselves a little bit about what's coming up with the down the stretch here, so to speak, to see what Hutchinson needs to do and what some of the rankings are looking like. Long count down the play clock down to 3. Now it's down to 2, and they'll give it around the right side this time, down to the 30. Cuts upfield down to the 10-5. Touchdown, Blue Dragons. So right there, I believe it was Cleveland again around that right side. Took it in for 6 from 37 yards out like nothing was happening, huh?
Well, Cleveland had a 9-yard rush and a 14-yard rush on this drive, and then the big one right there for the touchdown.
Nifty running.
Okay, here's something that I saw on that play that just kind of shocked me. The linemen actually were running downfield as like the defensive line had free run at the running back, and Cleveland just escaped him and made it to the end zone.
Getting congratulations by a lot of people on the sideline. He took it down for 6. The point after touchdown is no good. So your score with 1:04 to go in this second quarter of play, it's 75-0. Blue Dragons on top. Yeah, if you tuned in, that's what it is. It's 75-0. We will take a break. We'll be back. 1:04 to go in the second quarter right here on the Blue Dragons Sports Network.
The Hutch Medicine Shop and the Hutch Blue Dragons have a lot in common. In addition to our logos both being blue, all 3 pharmacists at the Medicine Shop graduated from HCC. Rick Stone in 1984, Brent Bellman in 2001, and Lacey Stone in 2007. In fact, the Medicine Shop has employed over a dozen HCC students over the past 15 years who are now Kansas pharmacists. The Medicine Shop and the Blue Dragons working together as one team.
Well, welcome back to Gowans Stadium, where Hutchinson leads 75-0. 1:04 to go here in the second quarter. We're not even at halftime yet. Hutchinson will kick off, and it was Cleveland with a 43-yard touchdown run for the latest score after the Davila extra point was no good.
Here comes the kickoff, and it's into the end zone for a touchback. So, again, having the ball will be RPA with 1:04 to go.
Yeah, right now they're saying, let's just run a couple plays here and get into the locker room and get this thing to halftime.
Got word in from Hutchinson Soccer from the high school. It's Campus 3, Hutchinson 1. That's the final. Next action is the regionals. So the Salthawks drop 1. Salthawks have a football game here tomorrow night, senior night. Randy, you'll be on the PA, and Campus comes to town.
Yeah, it'll be the final home game of the season as they get ready for playoff action next week. So look forward to seeing a good crowd out here at Gowans Stadium.
We'll have that on BW Radio. Back to, they hand it off this time. They'll keep it safe. Across good yardage up to the 30-yard line. Picked up about 5 yards. More positive yardage, yeah.
They were minus 11 in rushing yards prior to that attempt, so they'll still be negative 6 And total yards about 39 for the first half for RPA.
Yeah, they being RPA. So no break huddle. Clock under a minute now. 37 seconds to go before intermission. 75-0. Hutchinson on top. Give on the go to the right side across the 30, close to the first down by missed by a couple yards.
That should be the half.
That should be it. 22 seconds to go. I think we'll see where both teams are going to do there. See if they let it roll down or not. 15 seconds to go before intermission.
Play clock is turned off, so
that's what they're going to do. They'll head to the locker rooms, and a very impressive first half of play, to say the least. 75-0. Hutchinson with the lead, and now they're going one more play. It's going to be carried forward, for good gaining, but not enough to get the first down. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. 75-0 at halftime. Hutchinson on top. We'll take a 2-minute break and get set for, again, in the Little White Castle, 14th and Main, the Medicine Shop halftime report. We'll be back with more. 75-0. Hutchinson on top. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Getting the most back from your tax return starts with getting the most expertise. H&R Block has more enrolled agents than any other tax preparation company, and we guarantee the accuracy of every return prepared by our tax professionals. We find every credit and deduction to lower your tax bill. Put our expertise to work on your return, and don't just get your taxes done, get your taxes won in Hutchinson, Lyons, and Ellsworth.
Hutch CC Sports on Radio is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Mega Manufacturing, Sporting Chiropractic Center, Papa John's Pizza, A&A Builders, Barclay Plumbing Company, Sutton Coppin Transmission Service, Lowen Corporation, Old Office Shares, Dr. Eric Severud with Alliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Todd and Cindy Miller of Homestead Senior Care, Man Wyatt and Rice Injury Lawyers, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, and the Green Vision Group of Hutchinson.
This is Carter Fowle, president of Hutchinson Community College. I invite you to join us this winter as the proud tradition of Blue Dragon men's and women's basketball continues at the historic Hutchinson Sports Arena. Both teams are favorites in the tough Jayhawk Conference, so you won't want to miss any of the action. Find the schedule at BlueDragonSports.com, like us on Facebook, and follow Blue Dragon Sports on Twitter. As always, go Blue Dragons.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon Athletics. Oh, thank you, Stuart. Appreciate it very much. Stuart had it back at the station along with Misty Korn being our chief engineers tonight on both BW as well as KHUT. We're at halftime, 75-0. Blue Dragons on top. And, well, you look at the yardage. It's time for the Medicine Shop in-game capsule brought to you by the Old White Castle, 14th and Main. And we said just this. You won't see a lot of carries. 29 total offensive plays by the Blue Dragons, but 427 yards. 46 RPA snaps, 39 yards. You talk about total dominance. 427 to 39. Hutchinson just off through the races doing a wonderful job. 385 yards on 23 carries for the Blue Dragons. Same number of carries for RPA at -5 yards. So Hutchinson getting it done by the ground. There's no doubt about it. Hutchinson's only attempted passes, 6 of them, 3 for 6 with no yardage gain in that situation. So Hutchinson doing a great job there. Time of possession, RPA 20.25, Hutchinson 9.35. So that just tells you Hutchinson scored and scored quickly whenever they touched the football. Let's look at some of the rushing. First of all, for RPA, 4 carries, 20 yards for Kirk Williams. His net was 18. His longest was 13 yards. 4.5 per carry. After that, it really drops off. Quantiquise Green with 5 carries for only 16 yards. Wakefield was 4 of 23 with 3 picks. 44 yards is his total. His longest yards out. Sacked 3 times. His favorite was Caleb Whitley, twice for 47 yards. And that's the numbers. RPA. With Kendall Cross, 5 carries, 88 yards. Sharif Brown, 4 carries, 87 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Collins, 5 carries, 81 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Darius Cleveland for 366 yards and 1 touchdown as well. Cleveland with that touchdown, and Samuels not listed here, but we know he carried the ball.
Next, the band continues with Shout It Out from the movie Drumline, which will feature drummer Zane Williams. The band closes tonight's performance with a jazzy arrangement of the theme from Spider-Man. Ladies and gentlemen, your Blue Dragon Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Chris Merchant.
We offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back again. We're at halftime, 75-0. We just checked the score with Gulf Coast, Mississippi, and Hines. It was 31-14 in the fourth quarter. Again, Gulf Coast, Mississippi is the #1 team in the nation right now. We thought Hines might have a shot to get him, but Rob, looks like they're going to hang on and should stay #1 again.
They'll definitely pull that one out, it appears, and, that's okay because really Hutchinson is worried about, as Ryan Rhodes has said, is themselves. They still have to win at Iowa Central. They still have to win at Garden City. If you don't take care of business there, what everyone else does absolutely means zero. So finish games with wins, and my opinion is the Dragons are going to be in a spot to play for a national championship if they do.
Well, that's exactly right, and we can look at those other games like I just did. I just dialed it up on the internet. Big deal. I mean, it's just like you said. If you don't do it against Garden City, if you don't do it against Iowa Central, then you don't deserve to be there.
That's
so
right.
It's just a matter of you can look over your shoulder all you want to and see what's happening. It makes it interesting to see if it gets dramatic and if you can move up. But no doubt about it, with them on top now, 31-14. They're going to get another win. I think that is playing for the title in that division, Mississippi, I believe, when I looked that up. And it doesn't matter, but they have to play off each other.
Are ahead. Those two teams that are 1 and 2 are going to eventually play each other.
Might take if the right Mississippi teams didn't make it to the championship. You know what I'm talking about? And because Lackawanna is right in the percentage points behind Hutchinson. As Hutchinson lead past them. But look at the strength of the schedule. Last week I know there's 5 in the top 15. It might be even better now with the ranking that came out this last week.
And you're going to beat right now is ranked in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that win right there alone, if you're able to pull that off, is going to add more weight than anything Lackawanna is going to do.
When you look at this team, Randy, what do you think the strengths of is? We know the defense is strong. We know the offense can run the ball. We're starting to run the ball a little bit.
We got Mark Wright with 4 receivers as well. So, if I were to look at it right now, the weakness, and I know after last week you'd think I was crazy, but the weakness to me is I don't get the sense that they ever really want to return the ball. It's just either they let it to bounce a few times or they call fair catch and maybe still have plenty of room. It's something that it's a mind game with them, I think.
Well, it's a lot better than it used to be this year. Remember last year, Rob, that was the Achilles heel of Hudson. We'd run away from the puck. We never would try to return them and even try to fair catch them, and we'd be pinned back way deep in their own end, in their own side of the field. They've overcame that this year with a lot of fair catch, and they're doing a fair job. But I agree, Randy, those big 20-yard for us to have the big.
That to me is probably one of their Achilles heels.
Rob, you do the weekly talk show with Coach Rhodes. Your thoughts on the strength and weaknesses of the Hutchinson team?
Well, we're getting nitpicky because Hutchinson right now is on their way to being 8-1 on the season. The one loss was an extra point field goal that was blocked and missed when 9 players were out of suspension. That's just the reality. I think Hutchinson at times has given up some big pass plays in the secondary. Ryan's talked about that. Offensively, there's been times where running backs against good teams have struggled to get yards from the quarterback right, who at times has carried it too many times and taken a beating. And, we've seen him get pounded a few times. We're being nitpicky. I think this is the best overall Blue Dragon team that Ryan Rhodes has ever put on the field. They're good offensively, they're good defensively, they're good overall in special teams, and we're nitpicking at a few of the weaknesses.
Exactly.
Win a national
That's
championship.
what I'm looking at, is a team that can win a national championship. Just a few little tweaks here and there is all he's going to have to do down the stretch.
They're getting better. Against Dodge City, can't play.
You call Coffeyville, same way.
And tonight?
70 points at halftime.
Ryan said we are peaking at the right time, and that's a beautiful.
As Garden City is as well, and that's the next opponent, so we will see. I was just looking as we're talking in the league. Listen to this. The league has 3 teams in the top 8.
It's crazy.
Hutch at 3, Garden at 7, at 8. Then you go down. Highland comes in at 16, Fort Scott at 17, in at 18.
That's 6.
That's 6.
16.
Right there in the top 19 teams in the nation. 1/3 top 19 is right here in this in Lackawanna. They're setting up there at 4. I'm not going to pick on Lackawanna too much because I say their scheduling isn't their fault. They're in that league, and that's what they have. At the same time, there's no comparison.
Played a team.
Monroe was ranked in the top 20. They played them, and then they got Georgia Military down later on. Georgia Military's 11. So they don't have that. That's their last game. But my point is, they set their schedule. They're in a league. You can't fault a team that's in a crappy league.
Exactly.
So that's they kind of look at it a little bit. So it's going to be interesting. Games tonight. The games coming up this is they have that drive up there. At 1 o'clock on this Saturday, and then you also have Iowa West got Highland at Dodge City and Butler at Ellsworth at 4 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. So the game is going to be that Coffeyville like Garden City. The yardstick is on that.
And I got an initial word. I'm not sure that necessarily the final word, but this from Coach Nacarado, who helps run the Blue Dragon games, that they are going to go to 10-minute quarters in the second half and a running clock as well.
Oh, really? We heard that was, of course, the conference. Because, okay, that does explain that. So in the conference, no more running clocks, which okay. We'll go with that. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and set the stage for the second half. Your score is 75-0 at halftime. Rob, along with Randy, and I'll be back with more coming your way in 2 minutes.
In need of a business loan? With the First, you are promised personal service and commercial lending. Whether your business is just getting started or you're ready to expand, the First has solutions that will make your business successful. We're first for you. Find out how our loan experts can help. Visit fnbhutch.bank to get started or stop into a location nearest you. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
HCC Sports on Radio is brought to you by Mega Manufacturing, Sporting Chiropractic Center, Papa John's Pizza, A&A Builders, Barclay Plumbing Company, Sutton Coffin Transmission Service, Lowen Corporation, Old Office Shares, Dr. Eric Severud with Alliance Orthopedic Medicine, Todd and Cindy Miller of Homestead Man Wyatt and Rice Injury Lawyers, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, and the Green Vision Group of Hutchinson. Hi, this is Rob, and I want to tell you about one of my favorite places in Kansas to get a melt-in-your-mouth cheeseburger. It's Drive-In, where they got fresh. They're famous for their burgers, but you can also try their tenderloin sandwich, patty melts, BLTs, and so much more. Tuesday, Thursday evenings, Friday, and Saturday, they make their homemade onion rings that are the best I've ever eaten. RV Drive, Kansas' oldest drive-in at 201 East Avenue A and online at RV Drive-In. Go Blue Dragons!
Welcome to the Hutchinson Medicine Shop. With the emergence of big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're thanking customers Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salthawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Cats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Gowans Stadium. Glenn Grunwald along with Rob Dreher, as well as Randy McKay for Blue Dragon Football right here on KHUT Hutchinson as well as KWW Hutchinson. Rob, I'm looking. I got a new watch. Got one of the Apple watches. I got the little heart thing on here.
Imagine that.
It can count my heartbeats. And before the game was at 85 beats per minute. It's been as high as 110. I must have got excited somewhere down the line.
I don't want to have to be doing CPR up here. So.
Well, this will take care of it. This will even call the ambulance.
Shock you in.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, wind still a little bit out of the 10 mile per hour. Light, however, they say, and cloudy skies, but getting a little colder at 44 degrees and high today at 53. So this is football weather, huh, guys?
Yes, if you say so.
Football weather, perfect. Especially if you're playing. If you're on the sidelines, it's not so good.
We're supposed to now get down to a low of 31 this morning, or tomorrow morning. They were saying 27, 28 at this, earlier portion of the day. Now they're saying about 31 for a low tonight, 31 tomorrow night. So Friday night football is going to be a little chilly as well.
And that will be senior night here at Gowans Stadium as Hayesville campus will come to town, and very much a winnable game for the Salthawks. Salthawks played a really good game last week against South. So after this, it's the playoffs, which Randy will be filling in on the Blue Dragon Sports team for me because I'll be out with basketball with the college out. And you believe that a week from Friday night, basketball already starting, but you'll be wherever it may take you.
This is worse than Christmas. Basketball is starting earlier and earlier every year now.
That is true. And I had a story on the radio this morning that Walmart is actually having their first Christmas sales coming up this weekend to get an early jump on things. I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh, boy. So we're about set to get underway in the second half of play. And if you defer back, Hutchinson won the toss and deferred to the second half, so they should receive the ball as well to start this third period. They're going to go with 10-minute quarters, as Randy indicated, and a running clock. So this should not take too long, and I'm not sure if with that being the case, I'm not sure we'll hit 100, but you only got a little over 3 touchdowns to get there, so we'll see what happens.
I'm not sure. I want to see triple digits up there. This team coming in here is overmatched, and maybe the clock will tick quick enough to where they can get out of here.
Tell you what, even though they had 45, 48 players, if I remember right, Rob, that's more than they've had for the last couple of years. So that's a program that's maybe starting to build a little bit, but they're taking their lumps. But, hey, I've seen some bright things from Wakefield. He's a pretty good-looking quarterback.
This team is better than the one that came in here 2 years ago, I can promise you.
Here comes the end-over-end kick through the end zone by the Blue Dragons. I was wrong. Hutch will not get the ball. They kick the ball away. So RPA will have a touchback and get the football. Again, sitting here just at the start. We're going to get going here in a second. There'll be 10 minutes remaining to go in this third period of play.
If you just tuned in, the 75 points scored in the first half are by far the most Hutchinson has ever scored in a half of football in the long history of Blue Dragon football.
So now it will be RPA breaking huddle and getting set to get going here in a second. They'll split wideouts on the left and right side as usual, and Wakefield's still that quarterback back there. And he's ran for his life a few times tonight, and this will be no exception here as he tucks it away and starts upfield. He slides to a stop at the 30, pick up for 5 yards.
Couple yards there on that gain. He was 4 of 23 in the first half, had 3 interceptions, possibly could have thrown 5 as Art Green had 2 of them in his hands as he played really well and just couldn't hang on to them. But that'll be a gain of 3, so a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, it took it to a sliding stop right there, so that's where they say he was down at, 2nd and 7 instead of a pickup of 5.
When you slide, it looks like 5, but
me up.
Then they mark you down a little bit further back.
All right, here we get set to get going with the football straight ahead running, pickup of a couple yards.
Oh, it's positive yardage there, and I think because of that 2-yard pickup, they will now be at least break even as far as rushing yards goes in the game.
3rd down and 3 is the call for RPA with 8:28 to go in the contest. By the way, in basketball action in the NCAA, Fort Hays is at KU tonight. Don't have a score on that as yet. They started earlier on. It was an exhibition game is what it is. So now we get set. 3rd down and 4. Hutchinson showing outside blitz. Now they switch it up. And they match up man-to-man with the wideouts on the outside. Here the give, running back carries it, nothing there. Thrown to the turf at about the 28-yard line. Loss of 3 on the play. And was not able to get a number on the carry. So Wakefield with the handoff, however, it'll be a punting situation.
And Ryan Strong making the tackle for the Blue Dragons.
Lots of new faces in there now.
Yep.
Defensively. I believe it was Caleb Whitley was one of the Wildcats out there. Now they're going to punt the football away.
Playing 10-minute quarters instead of 15 here in the second half.
As the guard came in, they'll slide him over to the tackle spot. Here comes the snap. Here's the kick. It's on its way, and he got it out of there some way. It's going to be taken, fumbled away at the 45, and finally secured by Hutchinson as Colvin came up with it. He's upset with himself because he was hoping to get a return. Actually, that's Roach that came up with it, and he was hoping to get a return, did not. First and 10 at the 45. Let's go down the court sidelines to Randy McKay.
And that was good coverage by RPA on that one, even though the kick was a line drive and very returnable. Wasn't very far, but the defense was right there to almost got the fumble.
It's a pretty good designed punt, though, with the wind, keep it low, and it was very effective.
Harrington, the quarterback now for the Blue Dragons. So he'll come out and he'll split wideouts on the right side and a single wideout on the left. Still in the shotgun is Harrington. Third quarterback for Hutchinson tonight. 6:30 to go in this third quarter play. As time's really moving along quickly. To get to the running back on the right side. Trying to turn it up the field. Tumbled down. And nice pickup of positive yardage for Hutchinson's Cleveland. Carrying the ball. And second down and about 2 to go for Hutchinson. And Ray Samuel, the ball carrier, excuse me. Samuel wears number 26. And information comes in from the sidelines. Blue Dragons will send a wide out. That's Cameron Henderson on the left side. He's a new face in the lineup, Rob. Second down and 2.
Well, the Dragons are playing the roster. Everyone's getting that hand in this one, and that is fantastic.
There's nothing like in-game situations, and that's what Hutchinson has right now with RPA leading 75-0. These reserves getting some valuable time. There's a give on the outside to turn. Samuels got some time to go spare on the outside. Angles, and at the 10-5, touchdown Blue Dragons. Samuels with another touchdown, his second of the night, this time from 47 yards out.
Yeah, and I think there was actually an offside as well by RPA, and the officials let it go, and it didn't matter because once he got the corner, got a good block from one of his receivers out there, and followed him into the end zone for another Blue Dragon touchdown.
So Hutchinson puts another 6 on the board, 81-0.
Great job by Samuel as he was tight roping the sideline and then made one step inside of the field and got into the end zone.
Yeah, he does a good job once he sees the end zone to be able to get to it, at least on the runs that I've seen him have. Kick is up and on its way, and it is good. And your score at 5:11 to go. Again, we're in the third period of play, 82-0. That's right, you heard right, 82-0. We'll be back with more right here on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Getting the most back from your tax return starts with getting the most expertise. H&R Block has more enrolled agents than any other tax preparation company, and we guarantee the accuracy of every return prepared by our tax professionals. We find every credit and deduction to lower your tax bill. Put our expertise to work on your return, and don't just get your taxes done, get your taxes won in Hutchinson, Lyons, and Ellsworth.
Well, time moving away right now with 4:26 running clock here in the third quarter, 82-0 in conference play, which we did go to the running clock against Dodge City. Probably should not have. They found out from a call last night. That one ended up 85-3 last week. This one right here, 82-0, but it's a non-conference game. So Hutchinson and RPA agreeing to a running clock here in shortened time as well. Ball kick taken at the 20, straight up the field running by RPA, and they get it up to about the 35 where 4 stoppage of play takes place. And Hutchinson comes out defensively. Johnson's out there at the defensive line. I see, again, number 92, Hill out there as well. That's Anthony Hill.
He's had a good first half and played well.
Big boys are out there.
Has continued to move ever since we started this second half. It is moving. We are now down to 3:32 in the third quarter, as they only played 10-minute quarters here in the second half.
Jalen Bass also out there defensively for the Blue Dragons. Jalen Bass is out of Ashland, Alabama. 6'3", 312.
He's made some tackles also.
All right, down under center this time is Wakefield. Gives it off on the little delay, nothing there. Absolutely nothing there, all the way to the 30-yard line on the loss. So thrown back to the 30, loss of about 3 on the play, second down, and we'll say 13.
Yeah, it has been tough for RPA to run the ball. They are back in negative yardage again, rushing.
It's just about like you turn and Wakefield hands it to you, and you got a guy wrapping around already, and it's like, why are you giving it to me? I can't go anywhere.
It's been domination by both the offensive and defensive lines. Pretty good size differential here in this game.
All right, Wakefield talks to his running back. Sets up, high snap, but he gets it down. Throws on the outside. Touched an incomplete pass. Nice job of getting a hand on the pass and breaking things up on that far side. Again, another new face in that Blue Dragon lineup. I think that's Corey Lee over there.
Randy, the quarterback that time, after he threw, got planted.
Yeah, there's just not much protection against the Blue Dragon defense for the RPA offense at all.
All right, they'll break huddle. Third down and 13 for RPA. Hutchinson's been so effective on their third downs. RPA's made a couple fourth down plays, but here's a long pass. Bang! It's intercepted at the 35-yard line and carried forward to the 30 over there. Hutchinson with another pick on the night. Ryan Strong was getting the interception.
And that is the fourth interception thrown by Jason Wakefield in the game. And the Blue Dragon defense comes up with another turnover to give the offense a short field. They'll place it at the 32-yard line.
Ryan Strong's out of Muscle Shoals, Alabama. So first and 10 now for Hutch. Inside of a minute and 11 to go in his third period of play. Rolling clock with a 10-minute clock in his third period. Same thing in the fourth period. So
still a lot of Blue Dragon fans have stuck around. We have a lot of you listening on radio.
Once you get snuggled up out there, kind of warm and comfortable, so wind's not bothering them any. We'll check in with Randy on the sidelines here in a second as it's down to 39 degrees now. They give on the outside, or pops to the outside on a running back to the 30. Down and cuts inside at the 20, still on his feet, all the way down to the close to the 10-yard line, and a mark it at the 11. Nifty running by right out there by, I think it was the same as a Cleveland.
Actually, it was Drake Bolus.
Okay, Bolus on the carry. So Bolus getting some action now, Rob. Drake Bolus out of Gray, Georgia.
That would be about the 6th or 7th running back.
It sure is. Because we have seen White. We've seen several back there. They're going to walk to the other end and start this fourth quarter. So that's going to do it for the fourth period of play. Third period of play. We go to the fourth, 82-0. Blue Dragons on top. We'll be back with more action from Gowans Stadium and the Blue Dragon Sports Network right after this.
Swimming pool season is coming to an end, and that makes us sad at Pools Plus. To keep the party going, we have extended the sale on all outdoor furniture. Take advantage of the huge savings on all the fun, bright-colored chairs, tables, and benches. Strong enough to withstand the Kansas weather and pretty enough to add some extra pop in your outdoor decor. Come see what Pools Plus has to offer. Shop local, shop Pools Plus, 21 East 1st in downtown Hutchinson.
Call us at Pools Plus. HCC Sports on Radio is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Mega Manufacturing, Fording Chiropractic Center, Papa John's Pizza, A&A Builders, Barclay Plumbing Company, Sutton Coffin Transmission Service, Lowen Corporation, Old Office Shares, Dr. Eric Severud with Alliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Todd and Cindy Miller of Homestead Senior Care, Man Wyatt and Rice Injury Lawyers, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, and the Green Vision Group of Hutchinson.
Well, the Blue Dragons with 500 yards on 32 plays to 40 for RPA. That's a whooping right there, Rob.
Pretty efficient. No question about that. And the Dragons have it first and 10. The ball is at the RPA 13-yard line. Dragons look to get another score here.
First and 10 for Hutchinson. The snap to give to the running back, Angleson. It's Bolus again all the way down to the 5-yard line. Hard running right down there by the Blue Dragon running back. Drake Bolus wears number 19, a running back, sophomore, Gray, Georgia.
And Bolus, coming into this game, guys, had not had a carry.
2nd down and 2.
So Ryan has gone about 10 deep on the depth chart.
Go. Any deeper, and he's going to have a kid by the name of McCray out there playing for him.
McCray or McKay?
McKay. Might be a McCray on the sideline. I don't know. Could be. Who knows?
You know, they really don't want that.
No. You don't want that.
I've lost a few steps over the years.
Arrington will get the message from the sidelines, and he'll bring it in with 9:11 to go here in the 4th period of play.
Hutchinson scored 75 first-half points. That's a Blue Dragon record for the second half. They put 10 minutes on the clock for the quarter. Normally they're 15, and the clock has been running ever since we started.
Blue Dragons got a ball inside. 2nd down and 2 now. Here comes the snap. The hold on by the quarterback, and Arrington trying to stretch it out a little bit all the way down to the 5-yard line. Now they pick it up and start to return it, and they say, no, we blew it dead way back here. So a little exchange from center, a little rough down there. Let's go down the sidelines to Randy McKay.
Yeah, not so much that as it was just he just couldn't find his footing at all, and did lose it, but he was already down. But gain of 1,
gain of 1, 3rd down and 1 here.
Randy's sideline reports brought to you by Papa John's Pizza, some of the best in Hutchinson.
So $12 pizzas on large, and 665-7272. Call Papa at that number. Here we go. Arrington, the quarterback, belt high snap, gives it again to the running back, and into the end zone goes Bolus. Bolus takes it in from 4 yards out for the TD.
Teammates giving him all kinds of love as he comes to the sideline. His first touchdown as a Blue Dragon, his first carries of the season as a Blue Dragon.
Yeah.
And those teammates love seeing guys that are, out there at practice all the time, working hard, chance to get on the field and show.
So 6 on the board makes it 88-0. Sebastian Garcia to try that. Now, they've been alternating some of the kickers out there, Rob. You noticed that at halftime.
Sure tell the difference between the two. One kicks it like a rocket.
Here's the kick and up and on its way, and that's the rocket kicker up and good. That's Garcia. 7:13 to go in this 4th period of play. 89-0. Hutchinson with the big lead. We'll be back with more right after this on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
This is Carter Fowle, president of Hutchinson Community College. I invite you to join us this winter as the proud tradition of Blue Dragon men's and women's basketball continues at the historic Hutchinson Sports Arena. Both teams are favorites in the tough Jayhawk Conference, so you won't want to miss any of the action. Find the schedule at BlueDragonSports.com, like us on Facebook, and follow Blue Dragon Sports on Twitter. As always, go Blue Dragons.
89-0. Hutchinson with the lead with 6:24 to go in this 4th period of play. Hutchinson to kick it off, and we were informed by Steve Carpenter, Sports Information Director, 3rd highest, the biggest win total over a team. This team a couple years ago, 91 points put on them, and then also 90 against Highland.
Well, Dragons might get one more opportunity on offense. They could break the record, but with the running clock here, nobody's going to be in much of a hurry, nor will the Dragons.
Here comes the kickoff, straight away, end-over-end kick, taken at the 24, and trying to do something with it. Gunners come down, trying to get to the return man, and he gets loose around the outside, and finally he's brought down at about the 26-yard line. I chuckle because he ran right smack dab into a Dragon. And he's brought down and be 1st and 10 RPA.
And we've got another kicker there that is not on the roster. He just started. It's number 59. His name is Demarius Peterson.
So Demarius Peterson for Hutchinson?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is the place kicker, the 3rd place kicker now.
So getting his first taste of football here.
So we're down to 5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. 89-0.
DeValia's an interesting story. As he's a trainer here at HCC, and Ryan Hilty worked things out to where he could be trained for another sport, and he's able to come out and kick the football for Ryan Rhodes.
Talking about Davila?
Davila, yeah. Daniel from Salina.
Yep. It's a good story.
They'll split out wide left and right here. Yeah, Davila's been in there tonight kicking a couple, but as Randy just indicated, another new face. To give up the middle, a little bit of running room for RPA, and takes it all the way out to the 37-yard line.
It's a good run right there. They were -4 in yardage on the ground before that carry, and that'll actually put them in the positive spot.
Positive yardage there for Eggman Foster Jr. It's out of New Orleans, Louisiana for RPA. 2nd down and 3.
Dragons about to go to 8-1 on the season, and they'll get a few extra days to rest up now, playing on a Thursday when they play Garden City a week from this Saturday.
Clock's winding down to 4 minutes. Give back again. The running back out there, Foster.
Lots of a couple.
And it's 3rd down and we'll say 5. So Foster gained some and then he lost some. And Hutchinson makes a stop, but just under 3:44 to go. Clock moving along as a rolling clock here. Running clock in the 3rd and 4th period, and also 10-minute quarters. So again, Coffeyville at Garden City. Big game this week. Hutchinson was Saturday off, of course, by playing this on Thursday night. And matches up against Garden City. A few extra days to work on it, Rob.
Yep.
Back to pass. They'll sling it out there. Ball knocked away, an incomplete pass. Just about intercepted.
Yeah, could have been Randy.
Yeah, it could have been, but the offensive receiver turned around, played defense, and knocked it out of the Blue Dragons' hands.
So it looks like punt situation here, as it's 4th down and 5, unless RPA wants to run another play. They do. That's going to give Hutchinson a short field if they stop him, and an opportunity to score. I don't know if Ryan Rhodes would try to put any more points on the board. You may just take a knee if you can get a stop here.
It's at the 32-yard line right now.
They appear that they'll go for it.
And they'll get set right here. And Wakefield hands it off again. They will go for it, and they're not going to get it.
Yeah, and, not trying to do anything fancy there. They're just trying to get out of here and say, we showed up. We tried to give it our best.
And we did better than last year.
Yes.
That's what they're going to look like, unless Hutchinson in the last 2:15 is able to get on the board here. And Hutch will take over on downs now and have it 1st and 10 on the 30-yard line of RPA.
If I'm Hutchinson, I take a knee here, and there's no need to do any more damage.
I think that's what you're going to see happen here. I'd be very surprised if they come out and run a play offensively. 1:54 to go. Let's see exactly what they will do. White's going to be out there, Bolus as well, and they're just going to protect their quarterback. And
yeah, definitely in the victory.
It's going to be going to be in the V. Here we go.
Ryan Rhodes, classy coach, right there.
They could run another play, but they're just going to take a knee. They're going to let that play clock run all the way down. It's at 16 seconds right now, and you know you're eyeing that, and you're going to probably snap it with about 6 or maybe 5 on it.
And those big offensive linemen are like, snap the ball already.
Come on, we're down in the stance and I can't get up there. They take a knee.
And if an official would throw a flag in that situation, there might be somebody from the stands come out and tackle them.
Yep, so get set and do it again.
And just a reminder that shortly after the game, I'll be talking with Coach Rhodes, see what he has to say about the performance
we'll
tonight.
Do a quick wrap-up, which might take me longer than what I wanted to. As right now, you're setting it 89-0. And we'll just say there's a whole lot of points been scored. We'll come back and do a quick wrap-up while they huddle up, and then we'll go down sideline to you. So just to let Station know, we'll do a quick wrap. You run that post-game coaches show open, and we'll get into it.
3rd most points ever scored for the Blue Dragons tonight at 89.
89 to zip.
That should do it.
And that does look like it's going to do it. So we're going to close things out on the game. It comes to an end, 89-0. We're going to take a 2-minute break, come back and lock things up. 89-0. Hutchinson with a impressive after they got 75 points in the first half. Shortened game in the second half as they had the running clock. A big win for the Blue Dragons, 89-0. We'll take a 2-minute break. And we'll be back with more coming your way right here from Gowans Stadium. Blue Dragons win it 89-zip. We'll be back on the Blue Dragon Sports Network after this 2-minute timeout.
No time to fix breakfast? Just call us at Anchor Away 662-3100 and we'll have it ready for you. Choose from our selection of breakfast burritos, biscuits, or one of our 5 different complete breakfast plates. Breakfast from 7 to 10:30, Monday through Saturday. If you missed us for breakfast, we're here for lunch and dinner too. Pick up your favorite Mexican dinner or take some home for the family. We're open till 9. That's Anchor Away, drive-through, carry-out, and catering under the water tower at B & Adams in Hutchinson, 662-3100.
Big texters, heavy data users, helicopter moms, Nextech Wireless has you covered. And right now, we have the perfect deal going. Here it is. For a limited time, 4 lines of unlimited data cost $120. Plus, you get 11s or Galaxy S10es when you activate any 2 devices. So get on down to Nextech Wireless and check it out. Get your free smartphones and unlimited data today at Nextech Wireless. We'll keep you connected. Apply. See store for details.
If you could own a vacuum that would last decades for under $200, if your interest, Pitzer has bought out the inventory of another Panasonic and the savings on to you. Panasonic vacuum standard for many. Now, get a top-of-the-line Panasonic Performance vacuum for only $199.95. These vacuums normally sell for $400, but right now, you can own one for only $199.95 with free delivery. These prices won't last, and neither will these vacuums. Call the bag lady, Donna Pitzer, at 663-4322.
Hi, Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Ford. Truck Month is on.